Hello and welcome back again to Indiepocalypse Radio. I'm your host, as it is every week, uh, the aforementioned host of Indiepocalypse Radio, Andrew. No one here hosts. I don't think what if this was a? I don't think this is a guest show kind of thing. A guest hosting kind of event. It's not this is a thing I do on the side for fun of all the other things I do on the side, not for fun, of course.
Yeah.
Indiepocalypse is not for fun. It's strictly business.
Yeah, I'm glad
And
you finally have a hobby. Thank goodness.
yes, I get threatened with hobbies. I was recently asked, really, I think model building is like a threatening hobby that is approaching me.
Mm.
Since my work desk down here, not my computer desk, but my other desk, faces a TV, so I could go, I could do models and make and watch something while I do that.
Oh, that is very dangerous.
Yeah, but then where would I put them? Honestly, where would I put them? I'm not like a figure person. I think it'd be like the building of it. Then it's like does someone want tall geese? I made tall geese, but I don't know what I want to do with them now. I just wanted to make it. Anyhow, I'm Andrew. This Indiepocalypse Radio is, of course, your kind of like midway point between a convention hangout and a talk show interview kind of thing. Speaking of convention hangouts, our first guest is someone you wouldn't know that I've hung out with on the show before, unless you're a diehard live listener.
Yeah.
But also someone
Real ones now.
yeah, who were there for like the lost hour and a half or whatever, 2 hours. It was a long one too.
It was a long one. I think it fully may have been 3 hours.
And it was solo too.
Yeah.
like we were just going.
We were. We got on our soapboxes and ran.
Yeah. But we're back. We're back. You may remember, of course, from issue 29 of Indiepocalypse.
Hey.
Professor Quackington in the Locked Birdhouse is what names? What names? How you doing today?
I'm so good. It's so nice to be back. Thanks for having me.
I missed my other transition point, which was someone I had talked to at conventions too.
Oh, yes. Yes, we got to see each other at 2 conventions in a row.
Yes.
Both very sleepy, which was delightful.
Yeah, which is maybe the only other person mad enough to do those two, to do both PAX East and Amaze back to back. I don't know if anyone else did.
I hope not. Poor decisions, but
nobody that I knew.
Yeah.
Because I would have seen them at both if I knew them.
Right.
But welcome back to the show in a fully archived version of it, presumably.
I'm thrilled to be here.
But we're to ask you this question because I've forgotten the answer to this question. Maybe you've forgotten the answer to this question too. But as a contributor, hey, how did you find Indiepocalypse?
Oh gosh, I mean, I would guess, because I definitely don't remember.
Yes,
I would guess that I was just like following along with like cool things on Itch and like other indie devs talking about cool things on Itch.
Right.
And probably honestly the big jam calendar. I think it may have been through one of the jam calendars.
That at some point asking people who entered like 3
years ago.
Not as helpful in terms of getting people to find it and because of course
hey,
yeah,
it's on the jam page, and
yes.
if you're actively jamming, you'll see it.
That is like I often ask people just so I can continue to have people flow in, and that is fortunately one of the best or one of the main answers people tell me is like, oh, I just saw it on the jam page. It is.
Yeah.
It's
a great little piece of advertising.
Yeah. It's like free natural engagement, which also means I can increasingly find I don't have to worry about like filling out the network,
Mm-hmm.
Because people
as a person who has deleted all my social media since the last time we talked,
oh, it's great. It's great.
It's very good.
Like I was talking to someone yesterday offline.
Whoa.
And I've come to the feeling that social media just feels lonely. I don't know how to describe it.
So?
Like it just because it's just kind of like you're not actually talking to people most of the time. You're like talking in the hopes that someone will want to talk to you, or looking for someone in hopes that you'll find someone you want to talk to.
Yeah,
But
I think especially social media as it exists right now
yeah,
is definitely better as an advertising platform than a social platform.
yes, no, I a lot of traveling for me is kind of like, oh yes, I get to finally actually talk to people. Also, that's what this
Yeah.
show is like,
Yeah.
hey, you know who I am. Let's talk instead of message back and forth, and then
Right.
also in a public space where everybody can see it.
Yeah. It's like we're in a cafe, but worse.
Right, a cafe where people are like hovering around the different conversations, waiting to talk to somebody, or waiting to butt in and be like,
Speaking
actually, um, you know,
speaking of a cafe, I am a chat watcher, by the way, Twitch people. So if you want to say things in
yeah,
chat, I will see you.
I am
So
not a
hello.
chat watcher. I'm a chat ignorer. I'm a stalwart, unless I recognize the name. I am unless I go, oh, that's somebody I know, and then it's like they're
Right.
talking to me with strangers, DNI as they say. Uh,
I I
yes,
love
okay,
this kind of thought you've brought up around like wanting to talk to people, and it's like how do we find that space and like
yeah,
make that space. I have realized, hi chat,
yes,
hi. Um, I have realized that unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I have become a regular, which is something where like in my head I've always wanted to be of. It's like, ah, fabulous, I'm a regular at X business. They know
right,
who I am. That's like the feeling that like there are songs about it.
yes, yes. I've certainly
Unfortunately,
played one on here before. I think
yeah.
I
Unfortunately, I have become a regular at the local estate sale
yeah, okay.
company.
That's a very specific. I mean, I'm close to being someone who might also do that, but it's just the time. I don't have the time to check around estate sales.
It's yeah, I they have them online, but you got to obviously go pick them up in person. And
Yeah.
now the people who are there to give you your things in person are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see you." And I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah. Right. Oh, so they have like repositories basically?
They
Like
have it's like a gallery kind of thing. Well, it's a
okay.
split because there's some that are like full on you are coming into this person's house and taking
Yes.
things out of it. And
That's the
then
only
they
one
have
that
like
I've
a
done.
gallery. Yeah, they have like a gallery that's like consignment.
Right.
So it's between like a really big Dollar Tree and a warehouse.
Okay.
Is the vibe. Uh,
Now that's good because the thrift shops I've had like I feel like there's been a decline to the thrift shop as things increasingly it's fucking eBay and the resellers have
yeah.
ruined the joy of like getting cheap stuff.
Resellers have genuinely made it quite difficult. Like it feels a lot more perilous than it used to.
Right. And sometimes it's also like then it like puts more and more good stuff like behind the counter. It's like
Mhm.
I don't want to have to go through the trouble of like finding a person. It's like I just want to get weird. I just want to get good stuff for cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely noticed that like it seems like the stores are really like cataloging the cost of various things. Like even at Goodwill, I was like,
Yeah.
Goodwill, why are your shoes $10? You get them for free.
Yes, that's the other thing of like becoming like or them having like online shops and becoming aware of the point of Goodwills and yard sales is people like I'm just gonna put all this stuff up for a penny, having fun with it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't need someone being like, what's this thing actually worth? And it's like I don't care. Why do we have to
Do you
sell
want it out of
everything
your
to
house or
each?
not?
Why do we have to sell some? Why do we have to sell so much crap to each other? Can't we just like give? If you don't want it, why don't you just give it to people?
Right. Literally. Yeah, I
It's
mean, look, I'm a huge fan of Craigslist.
yes.
Craigslist is probably my favorite website. Like, not even as a joke.
I'm a fan of people's. I respect the dresser furniture on the just on the street. Just like, hey,
Yeah.
take this for free. I'm like, I always think about it. I'm like, there's nothing I could possibly do with it. But I do think about it. Like, just like we have so much stuff and we don't need to insert commerce into that stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I recently moved. I moved into a new place, and it was unfurnished, so suddenly I had to get a lot of furniture very quickly.
Right.
And I didn't have a bed for a while, and I was like, oh, I'm getting my own place. I'm gonna have this big. I'm going for like a big queen. Like I want like a bed. Like give me,
Right.
yeah. And I was like researching it more, and I was like, huh. Not only does big bed mean you have to move big bed,
Yes.
it also means like there's no good way to like recycle big bed or be done with big bed when you are done with it.
I don't know
Like,
from what podcasters tell me, you can just get a big bed delivered in the size of a refrigerator box in the size of a mini fridge right to your doorstep.
yeah, but it doesn't go away that quickly. Like the environment.
Yes. Right.
And like anytime I take something to the dump, I just see like the pile of mattresses. And that started like playing in my head anytime I was like looking at different listings of beds and things. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see if there's a better alternative for
Yes.
many of these reasons. So I actually ended up getting a Japanese futon,
Okay.
which was slightly less than what a regular bed costs, and you don't need a frame or a box spring or anything for it. And like, admittedly, I am already a person who enjoys sleeping on the floor, so I don't know how good it is if that is not a thing that is good for you.
Right.
But like, it came in a package that was like 3 feet by 4 feet
Right.
and like 4 inches thick because they just vacuum sealed it. It's just a cotton pad, basically.
Yeah. Right. It's just.
And I'm like, great. I can just, if I need to, I could like suck all the air out of a bag and it can be tiny again if I need to move it. And like, when I'm done with it, it's cotton. It's not gonna, it'll be fine. There's not weird springs and stuff in it.
Yeah, and right, you can just pack it up. It's not like I have a giant thing that I don't know how to move now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I have a regular sized car. This is not. I don't know how I'm supposed to get any of this anywhere.
Yes, yeah, I have come to hate immensely the whatever the SUVification of like so how every other car seems to be that, and they're just ugly. They're just ugly.
Oh my gosh. And they're very big. I
Yeah.
live in a city that's
Right, they're
colonial
big.
city. It's historical, so like the streets are not that big.
Right.
And straight up, like modern cars make it so much scarier.
Yeah, right, because they take up massive amounts of space, and they take up. There's so much to it. But speaking of, you made a game. Let's not mention
Yeah.
it. If people aren't familiar, Professor Quackington in the Locked Birdhouse, or I should rather say Professor Quackington in the Locked Birdhouse. You got to put
Indeed.
that. Got to pronounce the colon.
We got a colon in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Professor Quackerton is a short game that I made for a public domain game jam that was deleted before the jam completed. But I was busy jamming,
Right.
and I did not see it was deleted until I had completed the game. And I went, well, the game exists anyway.
Yes. Now, why? That brings up a whole other question of like, why would someone like delete? Like, you don't have to do anything with the jam; it just goes up, and then you just leave it alone.
Yeah, it was very baffling, and I was like, well, okay.
Yeah.
But basically, the rules of the jam, and this was from my memory because it was deleted.
Right.
Well,
Deleted like
basically
3
everything
years
has to
ago.
be- right, both deleted, and it was 3 years ago. The prompt was just everything has to be from the public domain.
Right.
If you any models that you use, anything, it has to be either Creative Commons or public domain. And that was a really exciting prompt for me because I though I can make a fair number of the things that go into a game by myself, that is functionally like 7 other jobs on top of like programming and writing a game.
Right.
So I was like, okay, let me go into like some public domain archives and like clip art things, or like open game art, like all these different websites that sometimes have garbage in them, but also have a lot of really beautiful art in them.
Yeah.
Very similar to Craigslist. Uh, and I was like, let me just write a short game, and it's very much like a kinetic novel. It's less, there's not choices in it. It is you going at your own pace.
Right.
But it's very much a story of these woodland critters trying to deal with grief. And it's not like, and now everyone is so sad and we're all gonna cry about it and we're gonna make the player cry too. It's pretty lighthearted. But it's like Winnie the Pooh if like Rabbit passed away.
Right. Right.
Where it's like it's serious, but it's not like gloom and doom.
Right.
I just really wanted to kind of explore
melodrama.
that. Yeah. Just really kind of wanted to explore. Actually, I honestly don't remember if I went forward with the intention of it's like this is a story about grief,
Right.
or if I was literally just like I'm gonna follow my bliss and see where it leads me. And it was, I think, 2021, 2022, and there was a lot of grief. There's still a lot of things to grieve.
Yes.
So...
Oh, it turns out the human existence is a endless process of grief.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a very gentle and short kinetic visual novel.
yeah. Good related to these questions. I have a question here sitting around that seems to apply to anyone, and I will slot it to anyone and everyone here.
Amazing.
Morg, this is a question from Morg, who asked,
Morg.
Hey, I didn't say hey, the hey I added there. Are there any projects you've made that you'd like to revisit, expand on, or make sequels to?
I mean, yeah, great question. I Professor Quackerton, that the Locked Birdhouse was kind of my preamble of me going, let me make more of the games that I really like playing, because I love point and click adventures. I love like capital A adventure games. I love whatever the fuck we're calling the genre that Ace Attorney is.
Visual novels.
It's a visual novel-ish. It's visual novel plus.
That's the thing. Games need more. It's a deduction visual novel. Games need to like just go whole hog with like subgenres and like very.
I mean, Of the Devil is one that I played recently that's very good in that subgenre of it's just like, let me do a bunch of evidence about this and prove that you're incorrect, which is delightful.
Prove them wrongs. That's what I'm calling them.
Prove them wrongs. Excellent. Very catchy.
But anyway, yes, keep going.
Right. Yeah. So Professor Quackerton originally, I think that's the original prompt that I went in for it with, was like, I want to have more like prove them wrongs, but also have it not be about cops.
Right.
Because come on, guys.
That's what they're all of.
Guys, please.
They're the easy person to say, this is the person that solves mysteries.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's other people have mystery. It's okay.
What about the great detectives of the world?
Right. But I pulled a little bit. I was like, what are some other who else would I like to follow around? And it ended up being this little Professor Duck that I had doodled a whole bunch. And so if I were to continue making games in the Professor Quackerton world, which I'd have to find my old draft of this, because I did draft up like a pitch for a sequel. It would be with her and her research assistant, Bartleby, who's a little dog.
Right.
Actually, it was Professor Quackerton and Bartleby, and they were going to a like a commune basically, or a co-op, where someone had the like person who owned the land that the co-op was on had passed.
Right.
Was old and passed. And his will had gone missing. So it was like Professor Quackerton in The Stolen Will was the pitch for it, and I really wanted to kind of explore like both what does like social deduction mean, like how do you build trust with people and like build relationships as a way of like making deductions and moving towards a goal, like how do you build that kind of solidarity,
Right.
as well as like very lefty spaces that have gone sour.
Yes.
Because that is fascinating. So yeah, that would be, whenever I eventually get back to it, that would probably be the sequel that I would make to Professor Quackerton, is a much more involved
Right.
iteration on this. But
Right. Because like I'm also someone who has thought about the mechanics of the Great Detective sort of thing, and they don't map cleanly or like easily onto a video game.
no, they really don't. They
Because
really don't.
they there are people who are very competent and they just kind of like solve a mystery.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting too. Of it's like the thing that happens in all of these. I've also been reading some Agatha Christie recently. I just
Right.
finished the ABC Murders. The really interesting thing with them is like there's always a bit at the end where like there's the parlor scene where everyone's in the same room and we say this is how they did it, this is why they
Yeah.
did it, and da da da, admit it, and then they admit it. And I'm like, I really want to play with and deconstruct that trope, because like especially like right in this moment as a American living in the South, like sometimes people are just going to keep lying. Like they'll
Yes.
keep like, what do you do when you don't have that payoff? Like how
Right.
do you progress?
Right. You've got all the evidence. You got. Then they go, well, I didn't do that. And you
I
go,
didn't do that. You can't prove it. It's
you're
like
like,
I just did, and they're like, no, you didn't. And it's like, what?
right. Just refuses to accept your evidence. You go, huh.
Yeah. So I don't know where I would go with that, but there's something I'm pulling on there that I really want to explore more of. It's like, what do you do when the culprit doesn't say, and this is
Yes.
how and why I did it? They're like, no, fuck you.
I
I don't accept this.
I also very much I feel like in that game of where you are, um, exploring and imploding leftist space. I feel like you would that there is a version where someone just says, "Oh, the parlor room is written off as you're gaslighting them," and
Yeah.
you have to deal with
You're a bad person for saying that I killed this guy. It's like,
right.
what?
You have to deal with the weird amounts of like that kind of like the hostile pop psychology.
Right, right. But yeah, there's something in there, and I've been in
Yeah.
so many different leftist or pseudo leftist spaces where it's just like, cool, if you're not pure, you can't be here. And I'm like, that's not how this should work. Wait a minute.
Right, right. And then wait, or you haven't found your lack of purity.
Right.
Yeah, it's we don't listen. If you were hanging out solo, we would have eternity to unpack modern online purity tests or whatever. But we
Right.
don't.
Yeah, how long do we have? How many gigabytes did you say?
Yes, we have nearly the time to talk about what TV shows do you watch that make you a good or bad person. Uh, I only watch the TV shows that make me a good person.
I throw myself out a window.
I only consume good media, where all the characters do good things. At the end, all the characters did bad things. The movie says that they were bad people and they did bad things.
If you're not correct, you shouldn't exist. Actually, well, all right. I will actually use this as a minor pivot to an
Yeah.
interesting phenomenon that I've observed, because since Quackerton, I've made other games, and one of the games that I directed and produced is called "Good Lord, everyone at the reunion for my religious all-girls school is a trans man, and they're
Yes.
hot."
Yes.
Which you do have to say the end like hot.
I do. I have a sticker for that somewhere in my pile of business cards.
Yay. Um, but that game, I have found the reception to be fascinating because there are some people that immediately they're like, "Oh my God, this is so funny. I completely am on board." Like from the jump, they get the joke. They understand what we're doing.
Right.
And they understand that the protagonist, who is ostensibly a cis woman, it kind of depends on which route you're on.
Right.
Like the joke is that she's trying and she's not very good at it. She's trying to be supportive and she's trying to be a good ally and is sorting through her own feelings.
Yeah.
And is just not very good at it. And that's the joke. Like that is what we're laughing at, is her being like, wait, I think I said the wrong word. I don't know what the right word is. Wait.
Yes.
And so we have some people who are like super, super on board with that, and like really, really loved it. And then honestly, I'll say, especially since we came to Steam, I'm very thankful to the entire team, but especially Runa, who programmed it, for getting us on there, and Bayou, who generously put us on their Steam backend account.
Right.
But since then, we've gotten an interesting response, and this was happening on itch as well, but I've seen it slightly more on Steam. It's usually like a 3 or 4 paragraph comment or review. And I'm
Which is
okay.
always an exciting thing to see.
Right? It's like, this is gonna go some way. And the first paragraph is almost invariably the person describing their own personal, like, gender and or sexual identity.
Right.
And they're just like, this is who I am, and these are all the things that I am, and here's my whole history. And I'm like, what a fascinating place to have built, where people start the conversation by presenting their bona fides. Presenting their gay bona fides.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like, it's how, everyone has all of their various identifiers and flags, etc., in like their social media accounts. And it's like, so much of online is like the presentation of your entire biography, like up front.
Yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating, and I guess that's kind of what I'm circling back to with the leftist spaces kind of imploding, because after they present their history, they talk about how it varies, but a lot of them are like, she's so transphobic. I can't believe you made me play as her. Like, she is terrible. Like, what a awful protagonist. And like, or just like, that's the gist of it. It's just right, like, I can't believe that I had to play as this deeply problematic person. And I'm kind of just like, okay. Like, I don't want to be like, look, their feelings are valid. Sure. And they're like, if I met this person in real life, I'd run for the hills. And I'm like, sure. And that's fine. I don't blame you if this is uncomfortable. It's also a free game that you can stop. I don't know what to tell you.
It's also a good thing they're not a real person.
Yeah, they're a joke character.
Yeah, that's like. Also, sometimes it's the increasing weirdness of just like, hey, sometimes things aren't for you,
Yeah.
You don't like it, that's fine. Whatever. Like it's tied in with the kind of like morality purity of like you can't just dislike something because you dislike it. The idea that you must have like a reason, an important reason why this thing is like capital B bad for you to dislike it. That I think
and it's especially because it is such a trans and otherwise queer team, and they're like, I can't believe that y'all made this. I mean, we had a lot of like hate comments too, of it's like, this is a fetish, and I'm like,
yeah,
sure, babe.
What if yes? And you're like, fine. That's also fine. Like, there's so much room for people to just like, people just gotta like more nasty stuff.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting. And I mean,
Yeah.
look, I know I'm kind of centering on this just because it was related to what we were already talking about, but
Right.
it has been a genuinely incredible response to that game, and I'm very thankful for all the
Yeah.
various people for checking it out and playing it
You've
because
got a,
like
you've got,
it's crazy.
came up multiple times on my. I check my feed a lot, and that was a feed superstar. You know,
Yeah, no, I mean,
in terms of
look,
ratings and
the
yeah.
title goes viral for a
Yes.
reason. It's a very viral title. And I'm glad we named it that, but it definitely
Right. Yeah. It is. It's there were things that just like you know the words that people jump onto immediately.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But I mean, folks have been mostly positive.
Right. And that's and you know whatever people can't be universally nothing is universally loved. So hey, don't
No,
worry.
absolutely. And I mean, I'll also say, like, just to kind of give a sense of scope, because it's
Yeah.
been about a year since it came out, and I mean, I'm not advertising it anywhere. I know a couple of the contributors and like devs on the project like are putting it on their social media, and we've like been in a couple bundles and stuff. We've had 86,000 views
Yeah. That's a lot.
and 7,000 downloads. Like, that's for a free game with no advertising. That's kind of insane.
Yeah. I was gonna say. For I was. I'll be honest. I was about to really gas you up and be like, "That's more than I have," but that's not more than I have.
I appreciate the gas anyway.
I have. I'm looking at it right now. I'm probably not far from that. I have 534,000.
Hell yeah.
That's so.
Hell yeah.
That's that's a lot. But anyway, speaking of things that there are a lot of, what names there are a lot
Mm.
of rocks too in the world.
Yes, there
Uh,
are.
what's your favorite type of rock? And
Ooh.
forgive me for leading you to one type of rock on in particular. I did not intend that.
No, no, you did not lead me to a particular kind of rock. I need to think about this. See, I don't know if I have a specific like rock where I'm like, okay, and here's like a mineral I like or something.
Yes.
I want a rock that can fit like in the palm of my hand and stays very cool while I'm
Okay.
like thumbing it. A very smooth rock. Like if I knew how to skip stones, you could probably skip it. Like
Yes.
yeah.
That is,
I
I
want a
mean
rock that I can have hang out in my pocket all the time. That's my favorite kind of
that
rock.
that is a. I feel like that's a subset of common rock that is recommended on the show.
Really?
The skipping rock, the kind of platonic ideal of like a ground rock, you know.
Yeah, totally, totally.
And the next question, the secondary question, uh, do you have a favorite Toho character?
I don't know what Toho is.
Oh, so I wonder if I even asked you this question last time.
Yeah.
You're so long ago thing, but I predated the Toho. Toho, of course, is a long running bullet hell franchise
Oh.
dating back to the PC '98, which has a very open license. So it has a
Oh.
thriving fan game scene.
Yeah, that rules.
Highly recommend you spend some time with some Toho. Peek into Toho, learn a little bit about a Toho here or there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll find out some things about Toho, and then I'll be able to report back.
you can find your favorite type of game and see, there must be a Toho for that. At,
Really?
at the very least, I'd recommend you, if you're if have you played many rhythm arcade games?
Some they're very hit or miss for
Yes,
me. So sometimes I'm like, absolutely, I will play this for like days and days and days. And other ones where it's like, I tried it for 5 minutes and I gave up.
I would say a good Toho adjacent thing to know if you're traveling, you want to try rhythm arcade games, is to learn the song "Bad Apple," since it's on
Oh,
it is on a lot
I
of
do know
them.
that apple.
Okay, so is Bad Apple is Toho.
Okay, got it.
All those little silhouettes are all Toho. Those are all Tohos.
Really?
Yes.
Delightful.
Well, there you go. So
Amazing. You learn something new every day.
you knew more Toho than you thought you knew. Look
I
at that.
sure do.
Well, speaking of Toho, we got no mo of this segment.
No
Um,
show ho mo.
and we're gonna move on to a break here. But hey, thanks for joining me here today on
Yeah,
this
thanks for having me.
100% to be archived show this time. Uh, we're gonna
We
go.
made it.
We
We
made
got there.
we're through the end of your segment. Let's fingers crossed. Oh,
Yeah,
I was gonna look for a second. Thought it would have been very funny if the start recording thing was
just
not
wasn't
lit.
recording.
If it just wasn't recording at all.
Again, I'm just cursed to just be this little Pringle cat for
Yes,
10 live people, and that's it.
that's. But now you're recorded for posterity. People can see that Pringle cat on the YouTube channel, of course, where in maybe in 30 years I'll get $50 from YouTube or whatever. Uh,
Time well spent.
yeah. Anyhow, we're gonna go on break. My name's. Thank you for joining me. We'll be back on the other half of about 2 minutes and 34 seconds. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Hello, welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was, of course, Bomb the Music Industry with parentheses shut, close parentheses, up the punks with an X there. I hope you can hear the pronunciation of that. And to do a little bookkeeping from, like, I don't know, forever ago, there was one on the episode two episodes ago, 3 episodes ago. I'm trying to remember how long ago. Some number of episodes ago. That's less than I think it was, but more than I think it was also. I forgot to mention that I also played on the second song. The first song being, they both have very long names. That Courtney Barnett song that's like, oh, nobody really cares if you don't go to the party, or something to that effect. The other song was Sidney Gish's, What Do You Want From Me Tonight? I felt like they were paired pieces, and I forgot to say it. Anyhow, very important bit of business for me. We are here with another guest who you may know from a far more recent issue of Indiepocalypse 64 with Cow Carriage, is Reese Williams. Reese, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Pretty really good. Yeah.
Oh,
Yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm a little. It's a little
Really?
hot around these parts, of course.
Yeah.
I
I'm
imagine.
cold. I
Yeah,
nearly put a beanie on.
you're
I should
feeling the
put some
inverse.
more. Yeah, down here in Sydney, Australia. Um, it's nearly 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's why I was
Um,
surprised. Like, I'm like, did I get your location wrong?
no. Yeah, because you offered like the other week at like 9 a.m., which would have been great, like
Yeah.
9 a.m. my time, but I was just busy. And I thought, bugger it, like it'll be a reason to wake up early, and I'll wake up early
Yes.
and I'll have a good day. And now I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'll do just have a nap after.
Yeah, that is. If you can master like a midday nap, like
Yeah,
it's a valuable skill.
it is. You're right.
You know,
Yeah,
I used to like stress about those kind of things. Like, oh, what if like, especially like if like I'm tired and it's like, oh, all the work I didn't get any work today because I was sleeping. I think the hours I'm losing today. I just think about the days on the back end that I get for like having healthy sleep.
yeah,
I think it all pays out in the long run. But
sure.
if important question, you're more recent to this, so I have to know how did you find Indiepocalypse?
Yeah. So a friend, James, he makes games as well. He's working on Anti-Citizen Red. Um, at the end of last year, I think we were just yapping, and he told me about it because Siobhan from Melbourne
Yeah.
was working on one of the commission games with a friend. I
Yes,
think when he said at the time, I got the impression it was just Siobhan's friend working on it. I don't know who that is. Um, I might have run into them, but yeah. And they were saying, "Oh, you should maybe try applying something to it." I was like, "Okay, sure." And it took me months to actually do it, but
no,
yeah.
that's fine
Um,
because it's not like it goes anywhere.
nah, hey, yeah. Well, it does. It goes in the bundle.
Right,
Um,
right. Oh, I mean, like the submissions aren't going anywhere. You can take your time to actually submit
oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
There's only really like
Yeah, it's
a
cool. it's a really cool system. I think maybe it's because I'm in Australia and there's not much going on, or like Sydney,
Yeah.
Australia, there's not much going on for games around here. I think it's really important just to have like spaces for arts and for games. Like because if there isn't, then it's kind of like, what are you making for? I don't know.
Right. Right. It's hard to just kind of like dump your games onto the internet and be like, hope someone sees it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a big part of why I got into game jams because it's a good way to like have, even if you flop it, it's like
right.
everybody's going to be on a similar wavelength and they'll get it and you can still share it and they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is so cool."
Right. Yeah, and you still like other people still like see it, you know,
Yeah.
which is the hardest thing about just art on the internet is, how does anybody see it? Ugh.
Yeah.
Because like increasingly like social media is like it's best for advertising, but also I don't think it's not even also not that good for advertising
Yeah.
relative to like everything else. Like just being able to like go to an event
Mm,
or get in front of people in person.
for sure.
Um, and so if people are unfamiliar with cow carries, how would you describe it?
Uh-oh.
Right.
That's I don't know.
Yeah.
Um I was just sticking around. I was
Yeah.
just having a
No.
good time. It was I made it for a game jam for South by Southwest. They ran a game jam. There's a South by Southwest that happens here in Sydney.
Right.
Um, and and I saw that Siobhan was actually one of the people judging it, and I thought, oh, okay. I just met Siobhan in Melbourne not long ago. I kind of know what the vibe's like
Yeah.
because I showed one of my games in an event down there in Sabi Gallery. That place is really cool. Um, and And I was like, all right, I'll just go balls to the walls. I always kind of wanted to make that sort of game. And Sydney, okay, so Sydney, Australia is kind of like more corporate, whereas Melbourne is more artsy and like the games, this
Yeah.
kind of indie sphere is like more thriving down there. Um, so yeah, it just kind of gave me the balls to do it and go hard on it with cow carries. So yeah, it's just like a game where you walk around and nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
And it gets a little weirder towards the end. Um, and it ends with a David Goggins quote.
And
um,
I think that is like the kind of like I was just making shit like is
yeah,
is what I like thrive on, uh,
yeah, yeah.
because I feel like there is too much of like even like game jams. I think sometimes like there's a push towards like like professionalism. Like making like marketable products. Uh,
Mm,
and I think it is like I feel like I'm in a similar space where Providence is like not Providence in the inverse. Boston is like a more corporate sort of city. Um, Same, and
mhm,
it kind of like trickles down to the games and things like that. And Providence, though it doesn't have a good big game scene, is like a big art city. Uh,
mm.
so it is kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, you have to like. There's very different vibes between the two. Of even if there sometimes is like a game a scene, of trying to find like, oh, well, what is you might not be making the right stuff for your scene, which is a hard
Mm.
thing to like deal with.
We'll say there's also an interesting factor. Just to jump in on this one
Yeah.
because there's another regional section here. Is in my area, like my city has a very strong reputation as like an arts city.
Yeah.
And that's true. There is a lot of art here and a lot of artists here. But I don't know almost any artists who do it as their career.
Oh no, that's just I think game devs are running into that right now, where that's true of most artists. End of sentence.
Yeah, and I'm like, like I also work in theater, and that's been something that's been really interesting as I'm talking to more game devs of people being like, oh God, I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to do this as my work. I'm like, you were able to do this as your work? Damn, that's awesome.
Right. That is a thing that I think like game dev as a medium is going to need to like come to terms with, is that hey, it's an art form and most artists do not do their art full time. Like think of other artists that not only do art full time but do their own personal art full time, you know.
Right.
It's such a small like most people are working day jobs.
Yeah.
And then doing art on the side or doing like art adjacent things within their fields.
Exactly.
But that's why I think there's perhaps more space with time for game devs, but game devs don't have, I think, the kind of like zine scale of like, hey, I make a little money off of my game doing some local shows and stuff like that. It's kind of that gamble of all or nothing.
Yeah.
I think people kind of know. Like the anti-citizen red guys, I know they've got their day jobs and then
Right.
they're just working on that as their little indie pet projects on the side.
Yeah.
That's great.
That
I do it. I have a day job, yeah, and I mess around on the weekends.
yeah, Indiepocalypse fully funded by a reliable day job.
Yeah.
And that is what I think a lot of people like just kind of like need to relax and just do it purely as it comes to you, you know. Because it is hard to, especially if you want to, like if you don't have the desire to make very like down the middle, you know, capital VG video games that are marketable, like you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna have no money then from games, which I think is what drives people to make a lot of, because I think things like something that is the flavor and the feeling of like if you took cow carries and crunched it up and fed it through this weird non-existent machine that would turn it into like a zine or a mini comic, I think it would do great at like Zine Fest, you know. But like as video games, like people don't know what to do with them, you know, like that. I think there isn't that same thriving audience to some degree for the sort of, or they exist, but they, like I guess making money, like the more like the events don't exist.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's just not an events game.
Right.
Um, like it's a very play at home game. Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I had it shown at an event here in Sydney, Alt Games at Parramatta, um, and it was just kind of on the wall on the side, and I had another game there that was like actually like good and fun, and people played the heck out of it, and they recognized it, and people still come up to me and they're like, "Oh, I saw this before," because I'll be
Yeah.
showing it at Pixels at like a monthly meet, but nobody recognizes cow carries because yeah, you can't quite. The other one is Duckscape, and it's almost like an arcadey kind of game. Like you just
Yeah.
kind of, it's not a story game.
Right.
Um,
I I
and
have that same, like, you know, demoing games. I often want to show like the most recent like commission game, but sometimes they're just like they don't show well in demos, you know.
mm,
Like a lot of games just like don't demo on like a show floor well. Um, I've found
mm,
like the perfect sweet spot is a different James. I think a different James. I believe a different James. Yes, a different James. Given that they host
probably-
Glasgow stuff, Computer James.
yeah.
A Dogman 95 I found is like the platonic ideal of the Indiepocalypse demo game. Uh,
Mm,
but it is hard. Like there's so many games that just like don't demo well, despite being very good. You know.
yeah.
And it's like so it's like, but also like all game events are like demo events.
Yeah.
So you run into these problems of like, what are you supposed to do with your game when it's hard to demo it? But uh,
You just wait till the end of the event when it's quieter.
yeah,
I've seen people do that.
right.
Um,
Or
I don't
just
know.
like
Yeah.
use them as an excuse to just like meet people.
Yeah. Or you just bug them into like, hey, can you test my game later?
You're right. Just yeah, because you're kind of hoping on the very lucky person of the kind of person who really wants to sit down and like take their
Mm,
time and put on
yeah.
headphones, which is not always an easy person to find. Especially because
No.
you never know what the venue. Sometimes like you might have a game that might work, and then you just kind of get stuck with like a weird spot. Uh,
Mm,
you, like you get next to like a really loud, raucous like multiplayer game, and you're like, come play my not that. Um,
yeah. Yeah, I find audio games they struggle. So the meet here in Sydney is Beer and Pixels, and
yeah,
it's just in a bar. Like
right.
it's just some bar, and there'll just be like random people from the public around too, and it's quite loud. Um, so yeah, bringing anything audio there is not great. That said, I did bring something kind of recently. Because we're in the middle of Gamer Week, which is just what it sounds like. 5 weeks, we make a game each week. Um, and I made one recently where I asked people in the Discord for any sort of sound or music or like voice memo, and I
Yeah,
put it in a seashell. And you walk on the beach and you pick up the seashells and you can dual wield them. You listen to one on each ear at the same time. And
Oh, I
it's
really like
it
that.
works in the
yeah,
space. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, people got into it. Like I just kind of explained vaguely like that I got a bunch of sounds and then I let them play the game and it worked.
yeah. Oh,
Um
ooh,
but I was also there's like a main table where most of the people are and I just
yeah,
like stayed away from that
right.
because that's where most of the noise is.
Yeah, and
Um
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking like that's a very exciting thing you can do like really weird alt control stuff with
yeah.
using audio channels. I'm sure you might have even thought about that already.
No, I was lazy with it.
Yeah.
I didn't put much thought in at all.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean it would take a way more work to basically, have a left and right speaker that you actually hold up to your ears.
I've
Uh,
seen some
Yeah.
like weird experimental theater performances like that actually, where
Mm.
they had like the setup for like a silent disco basically.
okay.
And there were performers on stage and they were doing stuff, but I can't remember exactly how they split it, but it may have been per performer or it may have just been several different scenarios that were playing, depending on what channel you were listening to on the speakers, like on your personal headset, you would be hearing a totally different play while everyone was watching the same thing. It was such a
Oh
fascinating
wow.
experiment.
Yeah. Right. There's so much stuff you can do when, like, in the space of, especially once you go digital. Like, it feels you peer into the infinite. Speaking of peering into infinite, Reese, I have this question for you, which is, do you have, speaking of all these games you make, making 5 games a week, are there any that you've made that you'd like to revisit, expand on, make sequel to, etc.?
Well, um, the current theme for this week's Game of Week is remix.
Okay.
And I am actually, I probably shouldn't talk about it because I'm not committed to finishing it right now.
Right.
But yeah, I am looking back at my games and a friend's games, and we're talking about splicing them together
Okay.
for this week. It'd be fun. And it is weird because it is like, yeah, I do a lot of game jams. Um, and looking back at them with the idea of remixing them, um, it is like, oh man, why do I just leave these here and not revisit them at all?
Right.
Um,
Yeah, because
yeah,
I think game jams can be viewed, or I think they're as like should be viewed, I think, by people as like a sketchbook sometimes of like, oh yeah, well this is
Yeah, that's
these
the way
are
I put it.
these are ideas that I had. Like they're obviously like, especially the constraints of the jam, they usually mean they're unfinished.
Mm. Mm.
Or
Yeah, it's weird because it is like the ones that are finished are good, and
yeah,
therefore the ones I kind of want to come back to, and the ones that are unfinished I feel bad about, so I maybe don't want to come back to those. So it's
right,
almost the other way around. But I shouldn't look at it that like that. You're right.
right.
Yeah.
I think there's like no harm in like working on a game that you fully never finish. Like you just like, oh, I have an idea, and then you make that idea. It doesn't work as a game. Uh, much in the same way a sketch doesn't work as a story.
Mm.
But you have like the pieces of something that you had already built, and then you also have that nice experience of having built it.
Yeah. But there is like more to the point on the question. There is one
Yeah,
game I did for last year's Game of Week, Duckscape, that I am quite seriously looking at selling, trying to do up nicely and sell.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
there's at least one person who would pay $5 for it.
oh yeah. Yeah, that in the description. I mean, that is James though.
Yes, yes, it is
It's like,
true. I did
if
follow
he
that.
would,
I did
he's
follow
not
that
lying.
through and go, well, who is this exactly?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I am someone who like follows through comments to find like developers, because itch is a lot of like just artists following each other,
Mm.
and artists commenting is where artists go to find other artists, and then occasionally sometimes people who don't make games also comment on things, but usually it's other game developers.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right.
For
Yeah.
better or for worse, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I feel like it's better in that it's community. Like it feels nice
yeah,
when you get that from other devs. It's community.
right. It gives you a sense of like, oh yeah, because the community of it is like hard. It's
Mm.
it's such a tricky thing to like, well, how do you find someone, especially where sometimes people like, I think, especially like the bigger platforms, I think people tend to trend towards what's it called, like, bigger numbers and like the kind of like career trajectory sort of stuff, the career ladder kind of thing. uh,
Mm.
but having a place like itch or Bandcamp or things like that, kind of things that sort of like flatten followers, and don't have platforms like that, are handy as like meetup spaces casually.
Mm.
uh, but yeah, and two, now I have two other questions. I hope you're prepared. You had more time to prepare for these ones as well. Hey, what's your favorite type of rock, Reese?
Cobblestone. I really like seeing when people make the houses out of cobblestone, especially the old school texture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I have I have
Yeah.
I have to drive I have to drive down one regularly near a friend's
Yeah, I was about
house.
to say,
Oh,
we're both in
not what I'm
colonial
saying.
towns, so we got lots
Yes.
of cobblestones.
I'm talking about Minecraft.
Oh, yeah, of course. No, I'm talking about real
Yeah,
life. I'm talking
that's
about
probably real. I don't think we get that much in Australia because the ground here is sandstone.
you're right.
Like nobody has basements here because the ground's too soft for it. I don't think there's much
Hmm.
cobblestone going around either.
Yeah, yeah. There's is I think I have like installed cobblestone before in my life.
Oh, wow.
Like, dug the holes to insert it to make like walkways.
Yeah, I think it only exists in Minecraft in my world.
Okay. Well, there's a
Oh,
oh
good.
yeah. Cobblestone also very hot. A lot of stuff very hot. And then secondary question: do you have a favorite Toho character?
Uh, Tifa Lockhart,
Oh, so close, but not
Spike
quite.
Spiegel,
Getting a little bit further away.
Ash Ketchum.
I'll allow it.
I don't watch anime.
He's
Oh
I would say
no.
it's adjacent enough, in that it's
Hell
a
yeah.
it's a large thing. You collect. There's a large number of people. Pokemon, I think, is as close we're gonna get you there to Toho.
Hell yeah.
But
Yeah, I was asking a friend yesterday for this question because I don't know Toho. But yeah, they said Tifa Lockhart, and they let me think that for a while, and then eventually they were like,
no,
it's not Toho.
they're leading you
It's Final Fantasy.
astray there.
I don't know Final Fantasy either.
Oh, so they're truly leading you astray.
Yeah,
Uh,
Off into
they're
the woods.
that's funny.
well, that's perfectly fine. This
I
is a
love the concept though.
yeah,
Like I really wanted to do like I probably still could. I always wanted to like write a SCP.
yeah.
You know
Then
what
I
it
think
is? Yeah.
is that
Hmm.
similar conceptually, where it's kind of like, well, because
It's just a community thing.
right, because nobody ever owns that, right? It's one of those things where you're like, does somebody own it, and like secretly somebody does, but
I remember a couple of years back there was someone from Russia who was trying to own it all, copyright it all or something, and it was
right,
like a big deal. But I think that went away. I don't know where it's at now.
yeah, because my understanding is always just like collaborative, like just like it just formed, like obviously somebody in the same way, somebody on something awful made the first Slender Man or whatever. Somebody made an original SCP story.
Hmm.
Uh, but so many of these things kind of grow outside of that very easily. What let me see. Creative Commons. It's what is it? It's sitting on a CC by SA 3.0. I never remember what all these different things mean.
Hmm.
Attribute. Anyway.
Yeah, that's an attribution one.
But it is cool, the idea of just kind of the ideal version of art, which is just shared, and we don't have these pesky little things called copyrights. But we're also cool about
Yeah.
it. We're not just like it is the attribution, the share and share, like the kind of, well, I made this thing. You don't copy and paste the thing I made, but you can make a thing inspired by that thing and use some of the names and words that I use. Just don't take my actual thing, because why would you want to do that anyway? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you want to just make your own thing?
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the blurriness almost makes sense because like the point of art is to like kind of see all the things and reach all the corners. I mean, it's not the whole point of art. I don't want to claim to know what the point of art is, but um, is sometimes it's about blurring lines,
Right.
and that's like just the opposite of what the law is. And you do need some level of that so that people aren't just like straight up ripping other people's games. So of course there's going to be friction there.
Right. It's like that is right. You just want the, hey, don't just take my thing, and then, because then obviously the answer was that big companies would just take everything and
Hmm.
resell them, which is, I guess,
Big companies, I guess.
the idealized platonic version, the idealized version of copyright, which is that it protects the little guy from the big guy, but really the big
Hmm.
guy just uses it as a bludgeon.
Yeah.
Um, and then you thought you were a little guy, but then the big guy has your thing, and the big guy's making $8 billion off of your thing because you worked for them. Anyhow,
And that's why they're big. Yeah.
but Reese. Thank you for joining me here today. We're gonna
Thank you for having me. This is cool.
glad that we can part of the show is that being down in the southwest Sydney be kind of cool for me, but also very far away from me.
Oh yeah.
Same in a similar way, coming over to the States, very far away.
Yeah.
But the internet, folks, we can connect people all over the place.
Magic.
But we're going to take a break and be back in about 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Bye for now. Welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was, as you all know, Silver Jews with Strange Victory, Strange Defeat. We are here with the final guest of the show, who you may know from an even more recent issue of Indiepocalypse, the now jealous. We were discussing this on the show before, and maybe I'll just look up that word. Is there a word for second most recent? Because it's not penultimate, I don't think. Because I feel like that implies finality.
It's not penultimate? I thought penultimate, like the one before the ultimate. I thought that was what it was.
That's what I thought, but in my mind, penultimate, like ultimate means last. And that technically is the last. Technically, if like I vanish from this world.
Last chronologically from now.
Yes. If I vanish from this world, 67 would be the last. But where I still exist, at least for the next few weeks, and 68 will presumably come out. This is all a very long preamble to say from Mayhem and issue 66 is Eddie Bear. Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty freaking great. How you, Andrew?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging out, having a good time. Now, it's very fresh in your memory, as fresh as it could be almost in anyone's memory. Hey, how did you find Indiepocalypse?
I found Indiepocalypse like as soon as I fucking joined Itch.io a million years ago, because it seems every time a new Indiepocalypse came out.
Now, here's a terrifying question. When did you join Itch.io?
About 2018, because the first game I released was in 2019. So
you can rest easy, Andrew.
I thank God. Indiepocalypse does not predate your joining of Itch.io at the very least.
Oh no, don't worry there. You won't get a new gray hair from that.
I mean, it's increasingly like, I mean, part of this question is like, that is an answer I am increasingly getting. If people are just like, oh, it just is a thing that exists,
Indiepocalypse was such a like all-encompassing thing when I joined Itch.io. I just kind of thought it was a part of the site, because it seemed like it was always around whenever I was like, it was between the jam thing and then also just like anytime a new issue came out, I would see it via just like whenever I booted up Itch.io one way or the other.
Right.
It's funny, despite always being aware of Indiepocalypse, it wasn't until this year that I kind of realized I could be in it, because my dear friends who have been in previous issues, Kale and Mala, I think Mala was in like 64 or something.
Yes, okay, I screwed this up. Now, which Kale is this?
Starbridge.
So this is Starbridge Kale, because there was someone else who was like, oh, Kale, but they were talking about a different Kale.
Yeah, I realized that it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people on this earth.
Yes, there's Kale Starbridge, and then because I was thinking Kale as in Kale chips.
They got in, and basically anytime one of us gets into something, it's like, hey, if I can get in, you can get in.
Yes, I think,
check out here.
I think Mala had said the exact same thing to me.
Yeah, it's like, hey, they like between this and like the queer game bundles, anytime one of us gets in, we just like pass it around. It's like, hey, they let me in. Get in here.
Right. Because I mean, chances are, like, especially people who are like working together and like in like friend groups and like creating like loose art collectives kind of things.
Yeah, that we're basically that with the way we operate and like tend to be in collab stuff. Like I just recently did a couple of backgrounds for Mala's Toxic Yuri Jam entry.
Right, and that's what where gay people who know each other.
That's funny.
That's just indie art.
Yeah, literally.
We were talking about that, a shared acquaintance in the pre-show even, that it's just that, between the two of us.
Yeah, literally. Just turns out if you hang around with gay people, you're going to also hang out with art people.
Right.
Weird.
And when you're like, weird how all these people in these alternative spaces are not just like straight white guys with a lot of money. I wonder if those factors are correlated somehow. I wonder if that's what's got them into these alternative art spaces. Almost like they had to create an alternative for themselves. Weird how that is. Anyhow,
Very strange.
Yeah, weird. But speaking of these games you're making, hey, if people are unfamiliar, what is Mayhem?
Mayhem is my PC 98 inspired game where you get killed by my monster made men that I made.
Yes.
It's a visual novel where you hunt bad ends. And I guess you can also escape. There is an ending where you can do that, but I only made one of those. There's more interesting stuff if you don't.
Yes.
I don't have ulterior motives for you to get murdered by my monster men I made.
I don't know. This all to talk about this first segment. This all feels very problematic. Like you want me to get killed as the protagonist. I don't know about this.
That's right, I do.
can't believe you're
and I am weird
condoning
about
murder.
it.
Yes. I Trick here. You've been invited onto the show to be canceled.
I'm gonna lose all 5 of my Patreon subs.
Oh no!
Whoa.
All 7. You're gonna get booted off of all the not social media platforms that you're on.
Literally, I don't think Kyle from NeoCities is gonna care. He's gonna see an email about this, and he's gonna say, "I don't know who that is," and he's gonna close it.
They can still. I'm not going to personally shut down NeoCities websites. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's way worse on NeoCities than me.
Yes.
I don't think he cares.
No, I think you're fine. I think you dodged it this time. I will be withholding all future royalties from you so that I don't get canceled, though. I will have to disavow myself from you, of course. I'm sorry.
See, that's a scary game, Andrew, because you can run into me in real life.
I know.
I am a big green cat man.
And don't worry, I am actually a confused weird elf from a manga. So
that would be really cool if you did look like Mithrin. I think a lot of people wish they looked like that.
I do actually wish I looked like Mithrin. I wish I had the hair for that. Or really, perhaps just the self-confidence to go to a barber and say, make my hair look like this.
See, that's my thing. I have the confidence to have hair like that. My hair is actually quite long, but I do have my father's beautiful hairline, which is to say, it's rough out here.
Right. That's the tricky thing. It's like, man, you just kind of like can't do anything about that. You know, it's like, well, that sucks. And
yeah, literally, it's just like, oh, well, I kind of like bangs, but
yeah. It's the cut and hair regrowth is kind of like dieting. Is like if there was actually a catch-all thing, you would just like it would exist already, because this has been like things the most powerful people in the world want to solve. So if it was a solvable thing, it would have been solved.
Yeah, if Jeff Bezos is bald, you're fucked.
Yeah, right, exactly. If Elon Musk has shitty hair, you have shitty hair.
That's also true, even regardless of hair. That's like
right.
if he's bald.
Yeah, regardless, it's like a fucking groundhog seeing a shadow. That motherfucker's bald. You're fucked.
It's been, if it was easy as going down to the fucking supermarket and buying Rogaine, he'd be there.
Yeah, literally, he would have bought the company already.
Right. He would sleep in a vat of it.
Sorry, I just pictured like one of those fucking Dragon Ball recuperation chamber things,
okay.
But like Rogaine for that dude.
Yes, I was in the brain of Minority Report, like one of those weird, the gel precogs. But no, I think Jeff Bezos probably does sleep in a Dragon Ball rejuvenation tube.
Yeah, he sleeps in some kind of goo. That's why he's like that. That's my theory.
It's really. I feel like it is truly like we have so many men that are like case positive of like all the power in the world can't make you not be a nerd, and make people not pick on you.
Literally, it's like you can be rich and you can still just be like a dork, and not even in like a charming way. You just kind of suck to be around.
Right, just like still be the most unlikable person in the world.
Yeah.
It is. It's also why I have like difficulties when people like success is like so silly as like a metric to gauge anyone by, because how many like, oh, look, this person has a lot of followers. Well, so many people who suck have a lot of followers. It's not a
Yeah, that means
inherently-
like nothing.
right. These are all like all these things as we cling to our metrics of success. Also people you don't like have those, so they're you like, what's the point of them?
Yeah, literally, it's like, me and a lot of people I think are cool have not very much following, and a lot of people I have personally talked to and were dicks are doing just fine.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Hey,
not how that works.
and in the grand scheme of human existence, 99.9% of us will all be forgotten.
Exactly. And, gotta make your peace.
Yeah, you're right. We're all just dumb animals who think too much. Is how I like to think about it as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
We create all these problems for ourselves.
They
And
call us dumb animals, Andrew. I have to ask you, what
Yeah.
type of animal are you? Do you have a persona?
I do not. My type of animal is a empty void that is not perceived.
Hey, that's workable. That's workable. I mean, I do think you should get one because it's just not professional for you to not have one. It's at this year.
I know. I need people. I come across. I've had someone. I have in my brain right now thinking of someone who edits and writes a furry zine. Like as someone who I met in a maze and need to invite onto the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm a friend of Toto, I would say. How how is that? Is that too deep? Is that too many layers?
I liked it.
Is it? And am I the first? And I can't be the first person who's thought of that, right? It feels too.
There has to somewhere.
I mean, it's a daycare, but like in that context, it's got to be anyway. People like our friends of Dorothy, folks.
Yeah, it's a
Learn your history.
people that, especially the fucking new song for it with Orville Peck in it.
What?
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah, they on their official Wiggles channel have a song now for "I'm a Friend of Dorothy," and it has Orville Peck in it.
That is unhinged. What is? Did they meet it in that turn of phrase?
I think
There's
so.
a character in the Wiggles, like she's
Okay.
a dinosaur named Dorothy.
Okay.
So they're singing about how they're friends with her.
Yes, they know.
But
okay.
also, it's
Right,
the Wiggles and Orville Peck.
Yeah, I'm like, they know. They can't not know what they're doing.
The people behind it, especially since they specifically got Orville Peck, know
Yes.
what it is, but the context they're singing of it in is that it's friends with their big dinosaur.
Of course.
It's very conceptual,
Yeah, that is good for them. Good for the gay cowboys out there. I was
happy
just
with
listening to some other. I forget who it was. I'd have to go through my Bandcamp favorites. I was listening to some gay cowboy music recently as well. Anyhow, there's subgenres of it.
Oh yeah.
That's
for
the thing.
sure.
Video games need more intensive. I mean, Indiepocalypse of course flirts with the gay cowboy subgenre. And probably I was thinking like in the one obvious way of it isn't that deep, but there's surely more. Yeah, there's a long history and a long legacy of gay cowboy music.
Oh, almost certainly. I don't think I was in this jam, but there was literally like a gay Western jam
Yes,
years ago.
Is it that deep, bro? Comes from that.
You're right. Yes, because that's why that made me think of it.
I think Robert Yang hosted that, if I'm correct.
He did, and he had like a sheep herding cowboy game that he put in for it.
Yeah,
That was cool. I wish he'd do that again.
And-
Everyone does
and-
game jams when I'm busy.
Right. But that is that is a long standing genre. Just two guys out in the open range.
maybe they're sweaty, maybe their shirt's a little unbuttoned, and they're looking at each other a little too much.
Yeah, listen, I just gotta like, why am I wearing these chaps? They're just too hot, you know? Let me just straight down to the pants and like, what are these for, you know?
Yeah, you're out there, there's no one there, and it's too damn hot. Well, you do the math.
Yeah, right. And people in 2025 still discovering, a lot of people asking if the movie is Brokeback Mountain, folks. It's obviously Brokeback Mountain, but people in 2025 still regularly dipping into, is it that deep, bro? Very, very encouraging to see, you know?
Oh, definitely. It's nice seeing it still around, because I remember playing it of the jam, and whenever I first play, it's like, oh, this is going to be kind of like a more jokey kind of game, and it's
Right.
like, no, it has a lot of heart in it. It's been years since I played it, because I played it when that jam was open.
Oh, yes, 6 years ago.
Oh my God!
About
Wait,
si-
6 years ago?
About 6 years ago.
Oh no!
Now I can shoot some grays back your way as well. Don't worry about that.
I don't need them.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. What about another one? How about this? How about this?
Oh.
When you're just like when you're just enjoying casual conversation, and someone accidentally, makes a statement like that about a game coming out 6 years ago, and you call it catching grays.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there you go. We're like brewing new stuff here.
I know. I'm just cooking up new phrases as they go.
That's exceptionally silly. I hope you're aware.
This is the I am in my form. I'm in my element when I'm just fucking goofing around. Like,
I got what Naben's reaction was. That's so silly, and mine was, that's good. We can work with this. We can catch this on.
It can be both.
Yeah. But it is. No, I'm not trademarking. That's Creative Commons. You don't even need to attribute. That's the loosest Creative Commons you got in the world. I'm not putting that on T-shirts. I'm just saying that in the world. You're free to have one. That's free for anyone.
That's a C0. That's a C0, baby.
Check under your chair. That's
Yes.
under there.
But speaking of, speaking of questions, I gotta get to a question for you. Which, hey, anything you'd like to? Speaking of the past, oh, there's a better transition. Speaking of looking to the past, is there any project that you would like to revisit, expand on, and make sequels to? That is, of course, to close it out. That was from Morg.
All right. Hi, Morgan. Yes. One that I am doing right now, my current project that I'm hoping to release this year, is a remake of a game I never released, because it is for the original was a short horror visual novel, and it was going to be my second game ever. Whenever I was just about finished, I was just doing the last of the sound design for it. The laptop it was on died, and I learned my most important but painful dev lesson: to always back up your shit.
Yeah.
Because it was just that.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's it.
I have 2 hard drives in my computer, and there are 3 external hard drives sitting on top of my computer right now.
Yep. That's the upside of making shit that's so small, since I mostly
Yeah.
make visual novels and RPG Maker. I just have like thumb drives around.
Right.
But yeah, that died, and I was so... It's such a impotent feeling that I had, because it's like, well, I'm not going to remake it. I'm not going to remake it. I just made and drew all of that. But
Right.
also I didn't have an audience, so it's not even like anyone really was torn up that wasn't going to come out, because no one really knew about it. So it's like, well, I guess I'll just go on to my next thing. And I was wanting something kind of easy to do for my current project. Now I'm working on it whenever I was first deciding what to do next, because I was having a bit of burnout recovery, I guess, because I crunched too hard on my last project, Prey Animal, for a jam, which the art for it looks great. but I did do nothing else that year. So when I started feeling good enough to do stuff again, I wanted something really simple. So I still had basically everything for Buck Velvet, its script and all, to remake it, except now it's a short horror RPG Maker game.
Right.
And of course, outside of current project, like most game jam things I do, it was said earlier how game jams are basically just sketches. It's like, yeah. One big one I really want to remake, I've been doing rewriting and like redone some sprites for it, is Rady Angel, my VN Cup entry from fucking 2022, 3 years ago. That one I'd also like to revisit because I really like. It's the downside of having a story live in your head so much.
Yeah.
For just like anything is whenever you revisit it, you're like, oh, there was like, I kind of thought, oh, this is like the bones of the story, and I've been kind of chipping away at expanding it since then. And then I went back, there's not bones here. This is like marrow. This is dust. And I didn't realize how scant the actual base game that was submitted to the jam was.
Yeah.
Which is, I'd actually soft started working on that one's remake until I realized that, and I was like, oh shit, I actually have way more. I thought it was like Buck Velvet one was, where it's like, this, I still have the script, I just have to redo the work, and it's been enough years that I'm okay with that. Oh no, I have way more writing and stuff for that, especially because if I'm remaking it, I want it to be the best version. I don't want to do a third remake of something.
Right. You don't want to just like keep... I feel like this is why we need like better support for, like, or it needs to be like a better pipeline for, like, whatever the game, short games existing as pitches in and of themselves, as like proof that you can do work, because hey,
yeah,
so much of the stuff would do better if you can just get little bits of funding,
Exactly. That is because even if, as I'm saying this, where it's like, for that other project, Buck Velvet, that's easy because it's still a small game.
Right.
I've just shifted it to a different system or whatever. Whereas the remake for Rady Angel, it would be way more of an undertaking just outside of writing. I would need more art and everything for it, which is something that takes time. That's hard to find in between full-time working and also like living any kind of life and making sure my house doesn't look like a nest.
Right. People forget about the living life part, which is fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, even I do that sometimes where it's like, oh, I have a day off, I can dev all day, and then I'm like, I mean, I can dev all day if I don't do any dishes or pick up at all,
right,
or just like kind of let my apartment rot, which I don't want to.
Oh, you just let housekeeping take care of all that.
Oh, I'm housekeeping, Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
That's literally my job.
Well,
so literally just like, yeah, it's hard to get balance. For the longest time I had it on my Patreon as one of the goals, like, if I can get this much money a month, I can work only part-time instead.
Right.
But it's like, one of those things like, I kind of need my full-time work insurance thing, so I'm not even going to put that on any kind of table.
You're right, because then you're right. How do you get... I do not know what insurance looks like globally, or nationwide, I should say, anymore. I don't know. It's still, right? You can still get, like, non-employment, right? Maybe?
You currently can.
Okay.
Not sure future-wise.
Right. See,
it just usually costs a little bit more, or is
Yeah.
like kind of worse than your job offers usually.
It is, yes. I had a weird situation where for a while mine was better, and also I got
Really?
repaid.
Whoa.
Because I think this is a Mass specific thing. Mass is also like a very particular kind of. I think it was like the template for the nationwide one was the one in Massachusetts.
I believe it.
But I think we have a thing where if they don't spend so much on admin costs, or if they spend, you have to, like, the insurance companies are required to spend a certain amount on non-administrative costs. And if they don't, they have to pay you back. So I was always getting like a paycheck like a check every year because they didn't spend enough money on non-admin stuff, which is cool. I do not get that anymore. But anyhow, we've got some questions for you. I hope you're prepared.
I think I'll handle it.
What's our first question? Hey, what's your favorite type of rock?
My favorite type of rock is granite because whenever I visited the beach with my friends and husband a month or so ago, they had a bunch of like weathered granite rocks. 'Cause it was like a lake beach type thing. And they looked very nice and shiny with the different bits of rock in it. So I've grown a fondness for it, granite.
Perfect. And then there is a second question. Do you have a favorite Toho character?
I do. My favorite is Kagero Imaizumi because she is a werewolf and she is the only known werewolf in that whole damn thing. And I think that's cool that she gets that.
Perfect.
Okay, that's my favorite now. I didn't know that we had a werewolf. I know where I am.
Yeah, let me give you some werewolves. But anyway, so we are not 0 for 3. Fortunately, we have.
I'm a teacher's pet. I do my homework.
Yes.
I did ask your friend what the favorite Toho is. I was trying to get an answer.
There is an official's. You can't see this, folks, in the chat, but there's an official Zune version, of course. But there's a lot of them with more tail access. But anyway, thank you. We're gonna go on our last break for a moment, and then we will be right back on the other half of only 1 minute and 24 seconds. Teddy Bear, thank you for joining me here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Be back soon.
That's an insane
Hello.
compliment. Thank you so much.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Indiepocalypse Radio. That was a short one, so we got a little bit of a splash of us talking in the break room.
Oh,
But that was, of course, Aggie with the pains of being stupid at heart. Not Gig Howie music. That is, I think, like more like Indonesian pop punk.
Indonesian gay cowboy punks.
But we are back with the whole crew. What name's Reese, Teddy Bear? Everyone's here. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
We are here
to the show and hanging
Hey.
out. I've got a lot of windows and tabs open.
I can hear the clicking.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm not worried about like the over professionalism. Like I'm not going to edit out any of those clicks.
As you should.
They add character.
I-
You can't add them out. They're the crunch.
It's the
No.
ASMR factor.
Yeah, the only editing I do on the show is to cut out the music and then
Oh yeah, so they don't like kill you or whatever.
yeah. But I don't think like maybe it's Silver Jews I might run into trouble with, but I don't know necessarily. I feel like I'd be fine with the other two.
Yeah.
But I don't know who publishes their stuff. But things always get weirder once people pass. You know, you never like in terms of like sometimes scooping up.
Yeah.
You know who maintains their licenses and everything after that.
Yeah, there's definitely been cases of like, oh, this is chill, and then like some great cousin is like, wait, I can make money and royalties off this? Swing.
Right. So or you never know. Maybe they are just like who released. Let's go into the specifics. We don't need to go into me here looking up like who exactly published Lookout Mountain, Lookout Sea. If it's like fucking even like an indie label, they've probably just got those like blanket
Mm.
things on there. Because that's just how that's just how everyone is, Drag City. Yeah, Drag City is a Wikipedia page. Yeah, so probably would have one of those or signed up with one of those things,
Yeah.
Talking about estate sales earlier, one of the estate sales I went to recently, in the description, linked to the guy's Wikipedia page, and I was like, "What?
What?
Oh,
That's crazy.
I
It
wonder
was really weird."
what did he have?
The last estate sale. Actually, good question.
It was not anything exciting. What was the question?
No, Andrews. I say Andrews is a good question to answer that about what the.
Yeah, what did he do?
He was like a general, so it was
Oh.
some military something, and I was like, well,
Oh.
that's less exciting. That there's,
Yes.
but it was a very. It definitely threw me when I first saw it. I was like, there's a Wikipedia. Hello.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they got a decent. I'm looking at their. I'm sorry, and I'm looking at Drag City's roster. They got a pretty good roster, honestly. They got to check out, folks. Check out Drag City. They got a good bunch of people on there.
Good promo. Good promo.
I saw a Circa du in concert before Waxahachie once, and then it was like great. one of the best little live. It was in a small venue, and one of the best little live performances I'd seen. Recommend.
Extremely important announcement.
Yeah.
My cat has arrived since the last break, so we have a fifth guest.
This cats are not allowed where I am.
Well, what the hell am I doing here?
Well,
Yeah.
non-ambulatory, non-speaking cats not permitted.
Oh.
In my particular room, cats are permitted on the show in general.
Oh. Okay.
But my room is a no cat zone. I fear so. I have these little crevice windows that one could get into, theoretically, by jumping off of the tower of my computer, and I do not want to take that chance that they will jump off and push it onto the floor in the process.
Yeah, that's fair. My dumbass cat has accidentally kicked a little mushroom lamp I have off my desk a few times, and the place it lands is like right behind where my PC tower is, and every time I look and it's like, son, stop that.
No,
You're scaring me.
And the one who would do it is definitely like likes to jump around, likes to find places to jump into windows.
I'm really lucky because my cat loves windows, but he's also very fat and lazy, so he just kind of sits on ledges and chills.
Yeah. We've got a fat one and a non-fat one. One that is lazy and will sleep all day, all night. The other that it is like has to get in his laps, at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My
solution for cat not knocking things over is have old cat.
Yes.
That solves a lot of these problems.
That's a good way to have it.
What I'll say, as a thing I've mentioned on the show before, and as a turn of phrase that already exists, though, I think fat cat is one of the best we've got, because if you see a fat cat, there is no more animal that is content with his lot in life than a fat cat.
That's very true. Any fat cat I've seen has been pretty satisfied with how damn fat they've gotten.
Yeah, I'm an apex predator that does not need to hunt.
Yeah.
I can just relax and just. I was thinking about. I was opining yesterday as I was rubbing a dog. I was like, man, I wish there were beings that were like larger than us that could take care of us, because
You want to get pet?
I was like,
Friend of Toto.
the fucking domestic animals have got figured out. Like, they don't gotta do shit. They just kind of like lie around with these large beings that just take care of them and like them.
Literally, I need a large hairless ape to become affectionate towards me and feed me for free.
Right. You don't have to have a job. You don't have to do anything. You just kind of like relax.
Large hairless ape, kill my landlord.
Right. Those large hairless apes would just do anything. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Large hairless ape is concerned ape's cool cousin.
As long as he lets me keep my toys,
My toys.
I just wanted my toys still. I want to play with my stuff. I start running around too much. They sit me down in front of my computer and like, play your games. I go, all right. Play my games.
Large hairless apes, iPad baby Andrew.
Ugh.
I have recently basically been forcing myself to not buy more media this month because I was looking over my budget for the past month and it was like,
Yeah.
I bought a lot of video games. That was a lot of video games. And I'm like, you have not played the last batch of video games you got. So I've just been trying to like not buy new media in general this month and like actually read, watch, listen to, etc., the things that I have, and like, holy shit, that is surprisingly difficult.
Oh, see, that's how I live. Like, I've mostly switched to purely buying physical things also.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like to pile, but I also love to put things on shelves and clean them up. But things don't get to go on shelves until I've read it or watched it, you know.
Really?
So
Interesting.
I basically have I have piles of books and I have to work through them, or piles of movies and I have to work through them. And then but it's like a nice thing because like with games, though they don't publish a lot of like, you know, weird indie stuff physically. I just get people. I invented this thing where people just send them to me every month. So I just like get them naturally through people sending them to me. So I kind of get that taste of like the indie space in games that way. Because
you figured it out. You figured it out for sure.
Yeah, if you want really cool games, invent an anthology, and then people just send them to you.
People are just giving that shit away. That's crazy.
They are, and I know. There's people. I'm like, my God! I'm like, I look at these things. I'm like, how would someone? Often I look at like, how would someone find one of these otherwise? Like, there are people who have like zero presence anywhere online, and it's not like the game blew up or anything, and they don't seem to have any kind of connections to people, but they just like submitted this thing. I'm like, but it's also like very good. Like, the true pleasures of just curatorial access to games.
That's so exciting.
And
I've also been trying to get better about actually playing games I have already and not buying more.
Yeah. That is a hard thing. Because you need
something that genuinely did help was turning off the like alerts that Steam would send for sales.
Oh yeah,
like that was a good choice because I had those on for a while because what if I miss one, and it's like, then you'll buy it later, idiot.
Right. Yeah, like I've learned to take my time, and I've actually, especially like with episode a day. So I just like learned to take my time, and then that means like, and in that case, like, if I'm not gonna buy a game till I finish beating a game, it'll probably just go on sale again, or the 15 to 20 sale games you would have bought in that interim you didn't buy. You just buy the one game at full price.
I haven't been playing games much at all. Like even Friends games, I have a list of Friends games that I need to play because they're my own friends, so I need to. I'm struggling just to get through them, so it makes it easy for me to just ignore like other games, regular games.
Yes.
I did have a spot earlier this year where I was playing a ton of Clash Royale on my phone for a couple months, and then I uninstalled it, and my life got better, like immediately.
Yes, I have a similar. Not with that, but often I think it would hit MMOs or other what I call uncompletable games. You know, that like I recognize that part of my brain that just wants to do that. You know, and play those and make number.
It wants to complete them,
right? And
I find
if I sit and go, if I really work at it, I probably could do everything in Final Fantasy 14. But it would only take me a billion years or whatever, or like tons of time. So
Right.
I have since tricked my brain by using retro achievements a lot. Because it means, oh, I'll just
Retro
play.
achievements?
What was that?
What did you say? You use what a lot?
Retro achievements, that website thing that exists.
I've never heard of that.
It's
I've also not heard of that.
It is a cool kind of thing. Like, depending on how you use it, I would say. Like, and also it's basically people can make sites or make achievement sets for old games played through emulators. Some of them are very
That's neat.
cool, where it's like I guess the important part is to make it so you don't like ruin your experience with the game in that, like it doesn't warp your experience in how you play the games, if that makes sense. Because I think it definitely could, where you start playing games in a weird way to like get them. But for me, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna play through Mother 3, and occasionally I'll get points through it. You know, stupid stuff like that. Like like that part, like it's kept at bay that part of my brain that makes the number want to go up.
That's really cool.
But it's kept it at bay in a way that means I play a bunch of different games. And gives me an excuse to where typically I would have just like reinstalled some MMO or whatever, or started looking for something like that. I instead, I'm playing Dr. Slump or Tulip and any kinds of, and it's like and some of them are also like very cool in terms of like the like Final Fantasy V Advance. I think is one that I really enjoyed because they Dr. Slump, of course, the Akira Toriyama kind of gag comic. They made a weird little game for it. It got translated relatively recently. It's kind of like a open-y sort of adventure game. Very cool. It's similar to Tulip. I love Tulip. Highly recommend people just spend a lot of time just grinding their way through Tulip, kissing all those people.
Big old
getting all those smooches done.
Yeah, I'm kiss maxing.
Yes, I'm just kiss maxing over here. I just gotta min max my kissing. But it is like, and I think it's interesting because I think it is also getting people to play older games because they what I usually do is I kind of like fire up their regular challenges and like events and things like that. So I'll like, okay, what I'm gonna play, and like that points me in the direction of something to play. From like, how do you choose from thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of games through emulation to play?
Right.
Helps give you some kind of incentive towards one instead of just window shopping and playing nothing.
Right. Instead of like the vast infinite. It's the same thing I do with like watching stuff on the Criterion Leaving Soon tab.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, they've got like 3,000 things, but if they're leaving soon, it's like, I got to watch them now. Even though they'll be back in like 2 months usually. But anything that kind of like it reduces that, it basically reduces that choice paralysis in my brain.
That's a nice way to think of that too.
Yeah. I think it's curation is helpful.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think this guy likes curation.
I kind of like curation a little. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of curation in published works. That's why I like publishers. That's why I like finding not like publishers, large publishers, but like small press publishers, especially. I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I like going through and like, as someone who reads a lot of comics, I often like. It's fun to discover a new publisher and be like, oh, what they got over here? Scooping up a full back catalog,
Right.
or like signing up for, because a lot of them will do like spring, summer, etc. catalogs just like on Kickstarter kind of reliably. Like, here's our spring 2025 catalog. We're funding it. We're going to publish it. But books cost money to make.
Right.
Yeah. Not exactly like that, but one I'm always excited to check out is whenever Shortbox does their comic fair.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Shortbox has gotten out of the physical game, like out of the actual publishing game. I think like 2 years ago. I can't remember when they stopped.
Yeah, they only have their digital comic fairs now, which I was so bummed about. I missed when you could get physical ones.
Because I have a couple. I probably have all the ones that Shortbox published. You know, I've got my ear to the ground. But I also have some stuff that is, people will publish their stuff anyway, like after the fact, like self-publish or do other stuff with them. So I got some stuff from Mice that is all, like, you look in the back, it says like, I'm looking right here. Do I? No, I don't know. I don't have this. I have a different book by Asia Miller that I got through. Was it through Go Press Girls or who? I can't remember who it was through, but I'm looking at just an old Comics Beat thing about Shortbox, and I'm scrolling through it.
Oh, yeah. Someone in chat says they're in Shortbox this year. Congratulations. That rules.
Yo, congrats.
Yes. I'm going to keep an eye out for that name. If I don't know, although honestly it looks familiar already, honestly. Got.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself when I'm like, all right, what am I gonna get for this number, this time, this season, whatever. I always have to remember, right, you got to budget a chunk of cash for Shortbox because you're gonna want to buy a bunch of comics.
Right. Yeah. No, that's why I'm fortunate that I don't hit Shortbox that hard, in part because yes, that's what it is. You've been in the chat. That's that's why I recognize the name. I knew I recognized it for some reason.
Who knows, really?
No, I mean, but names to come and go. But it's like I said at the beginning. I'm a classic chat ignorer. Yeah.
What's this stream? I figured it out.
But no, I am extra remembering you currently, for maybe other reasons, perhaps. I'm
extra remembered.
I'm going, this person's got an email handy. That's a good thing to know. But because I like physical things. This is very cool art. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at their art. Wait,
Heck
did I?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was like, do I know this person's art exactly? Like, no, that's because it's fan art. I was like, these characters are like 100% very familiar, and that's because it's Blue Period art.
You're getting remembered. This is what you asked for.
Now you are fully locked in my brain. No, that's fine.
And
I am.
And he's
Yo,
clutching
cheers
his
to your
head,
friend.
having a memory blast.
But I am. It's good. I mean, part of Indiepocalypse is just like, hey, let's be honest. And a secret part of Indiepocalypse is me just like, I get to find artists every month and just tell them, hey, make some really cool art.
That's not even a secret. It's great. The covers are amazing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we posting.
That's what it was. It was. I'm like these characters. Was this in a different short box or something else I had bought? And it is Blue Period, which also recommend if you like art about art. I love art about, as an artist. I love art about art. You know, Blue Period, some top shelf art about art. Anyhow, sorry, I'm not gonna. I'm no longer focused. I'm closing all your pages in your website. And talking to the guests
So
here.
sorry that you got completely got in the chat today.
You don't out yourself as an artist. I have to look you up. But
You said Andrew's magic word.
right. The
His
art.
activation phrase.
But to the point I was getting to was that I fortunately don't take too big of a hit with digital comic fairs, simply because, for one, I buy a lot of stuff just from like small press publishers that like what's it called? Glacier Bay picked up. It was a short box comic. I'm blanking on the exact name right now because I need to remember it. Residual forget beam effects of. They had picked up. Give Her Back to Me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They picked up Hana Shatani's "Give Her Back to Me." Glacier Bay had picked it up, and that because that was originally a short box comic, I believe.
Yes, that was.
And like I said, I have just looking at that yes, Give Her Back to Me. Very good. Like honestly, this is also my never-ending plug for Glacier Bay. As someone who is a comic fan, is doing very cool stuff. It's like I want someone to publish weirdo indie manga more, and like really like the indie stuff from, Japan's. I don't know if you know, Japan's a big comics country. They make a lot of comics over there.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't aware.
News to me.
Big comic culture. And there's a lot of indie stuff that I just think just like, your Kodanshas are not going to pick up till they're huge or whatever.
Yeah, no.
But you can get like your Flashpoints and your other like cool stuff there.
I should look more at Glacier Bay books because I haven't actually looked at them much.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of them.
Oh, I'm a long time fan of, basically since I have all their stuff in. Like, anyhow, I like comics a lot is what I'm saying.
I was vaguely aware of them because I follow Hana Shitane, and her had been posting about the new print of Give Her Back to Me.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, it's on that website, but didn't look at much outside of that.
Yeah, no, speaking of like, cheapo purchases and to go all the way back to even thrift shops used to be good. I remember buying the complete run of Nana for like $10 at a Savers.
God. I always love when I find fucking just manga and shit like that whenever looking through thrift store books, because usually there's a lot of like nothing in the book section of thrift stores I go to, but that every time I find it's like, hell yeah. I know I made someone's day when I moved up here because I just got rid of like a ton of shit, including a bunch of manga, because I just was like, I'll just start my collection over. I don't have anything that's like, whoa, I'll never be able to get this again.
Right. I only have a few of those, I think, here and there. And actually some of them have even been republished. I had an alert on my phone for Ding Dong Circus because I missed it, and then eventually I snapped up a copy because they would either sell for like $500 or sometimes you would get them for like $40. And I managed to snag one of those, and then they like a month later they announced they're reprinting it. But anyhow, it is the thing I wonder often of like, are these books valuable or invaluable because they're just hard to get?
Yeah, it's anything I have that's like, damn, I'd never be able to get this again, is like niche art zines and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, I can't get this again if I lose it, but the upside is it's a zine, so it's way more not like a full-on book or anything where it's like,
right.
Yeah, I can get rid of this.
Right. I'm not missing a lot of like huge books, all those ones I think about are things I would get at like Mice or something. like small individual books, not like a giant. Oh no, yeah, there. I'm looking at my something I thought would be expensive, and it does look like it might be expensive. Is old Black Hook Press stuff. My
Black Hook Press. Why do they sound
my
familiar?
Dokudami Tenement. It looks like they're selling for 85. I mean, 85 is not a lot. It's not like when I was looking up the pre-reprint era of Passion of Gengar Tagame, and it was like hundreds of dollars. Something ridiculous.
Hurts just a little.
But anyhow, comics. Let's get those. Oh, actually, maybe people still do want the old hardcover of that. Well, let me see.
Going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, now I'm like, let me.
What I like is Hollow Press. I like what they're doing because they're the ones that do Vermis and Plastiboos, like game book things.
Hollow Press is if you really want the freak shit.
Yeah, Hollow Press got some weird stuff. I haven't gotten anything besides Plastiboo stuff on there, but they also have, I think it's Strange House.
Yeah.
Has their own like weird dark fantasy art thing where it's like, well, I do want to watch or read that.
The only I mentioned earlier in the show I don't have figures, but I lie. I do have one figure. The only figure I have is a skeleton jelly that I bought from Hollow Press.
Oh, that rules.
It's him. It's of him walking down the stairs. I don't know if you can still get that. Oh yeah, you can. You can still pick yourself up a skeleton jelly. This little fellow walking down the stairs for only 35 euros. Highly recommend them.
Hollow Press, I always have to wait a while in between orders because the shipping is
brutal.
I had to buy my first copy of Vermis twice because I made a dumb mistake the first time. It's like, I'll just get the cheaper one. I don't care if it takes a while to get here. I'm not like in a rush to get it. And then it just didn't, because if you look in their fine print, it's like, if you don't get the like nice track shipping and your shit goes missing, don't talk to us.
Right.
Not our problem.
Right.
And it's like, fair enough. But I was just like, because I've had similar shipping setups before where it's like, well, it's just going to get here. I haven't had an issue with it before. And
right.
It did not get here. So anytime I think about like, oh, I'll just get the cheaper shipping, I remember how much more expensive it is when I buy it a second time with the better shipping. So it's like, no, I'll get the real shipping. So my orders from them tend to be more spaced out because of that.
And they're also very physically large books. They're printed in European style, you know.
They're nice fucking books.
Yeah, like I have Multiforce and it is gigantic. Oh, what? What are they? What is this thing? This is. Sorry, I was looking at this weird eye patch wolf thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I care about that as much.
Yeah, it just feels weird. Like I was not expecting. I'm not sure. Like I'm trying to figure out what it is.
It looks like an essay compendium of their thoughts on the like fake video game book things.
Right.
Because there are ones other than Vermis and like God Husk, the ones Plastiboo made now, since they got popular. So I guess it's just an essay write-up of that. I don't care about that.
I want the fake games.
Yeah, literally, it's like I don't really care what this YouTuber thinks about it because I think it's cool, so I want it.
Oh, this is also looking expensive. Well, it's only to respond to the chat, and I'm bad at favorite things, but also related to favorites and old things and arts about artists. I love A Drifting Life. I think it's A Drifting Life. Am I right? Did I get it right? I got it right, right? A Drifting Life? Yes, A Drifting Life. Tatsumi's A Drifting Life, which is, damn, it's good stuff. Like, I mean, Tatsumi in general, I'm a huge fan of like Yoshihiro Tatsumi's stuff. Your Bury the Old That's in Tokyo and all that. If you're loving old Gekiga stuff, you just tie your hitch your wagon to Ryan Holmberg, who was like translating so much of that stuff, and really just like getting it out there. It's fun to like I can tell kind of when I pick something up, and be like, and I can flip the translation. I'm like, this is by Ryan Holmberg, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it is. This is his shit.
You know it.
Also, highly recommend. I always forget the name of it. It don't talk to my something about my back, right? I'm always blanking on the exact name of it. I just talk to my back. Highly recommend Talk to My Back as well.
I haven't heard of those ones, so I'll have to
Yes.
look into them.
If we don't want to talk very old, as I mentioned in the chat, Ikoku Nikai is like 100% one of my favorite comics ever kind of written. I think about it constantly. It's like, it's like I am counting the minutes till like the anime gets released, so that in English they'll publish. That's 90% of the time is when they publish English stuff, is when animes come out, and it's getting one.
Yeah, that is true. I also have my favorites. I like a lot of Kazuo Umezu's stuff.
Yes,
so,
I've been reading it because they've been just putting out a lot of it, so I've been reading a lot of it.
Yeah, like Orochi got a fucking big ass nice translated omnibus.
Yes.
It's like God Left's Hand, Devil's Right Hand was another one.
So I've been reading those nice hardcovers as they come out, and he is like, he is very schlocky in a way that I really respect.
Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. Because I started reading him because I found just like isolated one of the chapters from Orochi.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what the hell's the rest of this? And read it. And then it's so funny. It's especially like that in like God's Left Hand, Devil's Right Hand. There's so much like, wow, wow. Wow! Just like pages where you'll just get a lot of zoom ins of like screaming faces and like ooh ooh ah.
Yeah.
It's like, God, wow! This is I love this.
I think a lot about like the Drifting Classroom one where it's just like, I think it's like a full page of him on the kid, like a zoom in on the kid on the phone.
Yeah, he loves his zoom-ins type where it's just like freeze, just zoom in on all the angles of what is happening right here. It's so it's fun.
Yes, a giant library of YouTube thumbnails to like, you can't believe we moved our school to another world for 30 months. How do I survive? And it's the kid. Just fucking
yeah, it
is. And it's fun of like speaking it is like basically I think people growing up with it's weird to be like in the generation where like grew up with like manga coming to the US, so now they're getting old and they have money, so they get like these nice big hardcover reprints of like old stuff that is probably not selling, but they're funding it with like, you know, your 8 million isekais fund your Lupin hardcovers or whatever.
Yeah, I need to get those monster hardcovers that they've been putting out. I want those so bad.
I do have a wish list that I call upgrade. That is like, I already have monster, so I'm not gonna buy it again unless I feel like it. And then I upgrade it to these nice hardcover versions because bigger text or bigger pages, nice hardcovers. Sign me up all day, you know. But anyhow, I got trapped going down a comics hole, which is what I'll often do because I love to just like comics a lot. We'll happily talk about comics, you know. I just dropped off my friend a pile of Dorohedoro's to be like, hey, you like weird dark fantasy? Have I got some stuff for you?
What a great friend compliment.
Yeah, I mean, he does. And also, like, TTRPG we were playing referenced, like, Didark as, like, a cited source. Q Hayashida's current thing. Also, I mean, there's a million recommendations, depending on what you're looking for, but get up there.
Tabletop RPG was it?
I'm blanking on what the name of it is. It's a game where, like, the planets, like, there were these in a kind of a way, giant hairless apes that were taking care of people, but they all disappeared. Their ships crashed. People, you huff ink to do magic. It's that kind of like it's kind of got a bit of a Euro sci-fi aesthetic to it. It's like science fantasy. I cannot think of the name of it right now. Give me 1 second. I will look up. I have it. This is way to find it. It is called. Where is this thing? I'm trying to remember what channel. It is in the one Discord that I actively use, which is our friend group Discord.
Makes sense.
Which is like the only. What are they doing? What are people doing actually posting in here? Electrum Archive. There it is. Yeah, it's a Electrum Archive is the book. And it is cool stuff if you like science fantasy and stuff like that.
Neat.
Oh, this does look cool.
Yeah, there's 2 zines. They're kind of like simple rules, and a lot of like cool setting flavor. Which that's how a lot of the fun of TTRPGs. You know, I mean, you know, you were mentioning, you know, fake games. You know, sometimes just the setting flavor is just fun on its own. Like even for a game that maybe doesn't even exist, it's just a cool setting flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Or just like enough where it's like, well, this isn't a game I can play, but I'm sure gonna think on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the game is thinking about the game.
Right. Or just like taking like bits and pieces. It's just like cool books full of cool art. And I like the idea of people huffing ink. You know, I like the idea of that kind of like drug magic kind of thing. You know, where or like where also the ink is the money. Where all the like there's a thing that is the everything piece. You know, it's your money, it's your magic, it's your whatever. Kind of covers everything. But anyhow,
Yeah, it's intriguing. Like looking back at history when salt used to be money, like bricks of salt.
right?
That's
Really? Huh.
yeah.
Because you're right. Because you would have like it's like all this stuff is very valuable. You know, I'd rather have salt than whatever this useless paper is. These little metal trinkets.
Yeah, and these days, like, we're just so removed from like what gold is, and it's not even gold. It's like bits and boops in a computer in
Right.
a bank.
But there's a finite number of beeps and boops, so they're valuable, I guess. But yeah, I mean, folks, money's made up. Anyway, it's very very good bit in Earthbound or Mother 3, of course, where they your town gets basically capitalism comes to town, where it previously doesn't exist.
Oh.
Yeah, like you would just go to the item shop and just get stuff, and then eventually, like anyway, it's cool. I'm surprised coming in with the hottest takes that Mother 3 is cool, but
Watch out, everybody! Watch out! He's coming in with the hot take.
Scorchers, but like It's one of those weird things where like you can tell how the games are like a failed medium, because if they weren't, we would have an English version of Mother 3 officially by now. Like I was like, oh, I played it. I'm like, oh no, this is a tentpole piece of the medium. Like it's like, oh no, this is like an indisputable work. It's really bizarre that it's only available like extra legally, you know. Like could you think of any other like medium where that was the case, where like truly like pivotal, like imagine any kind of foreign film that is like, think of all your foreign film masters, you know, your classic foreign film masters, and think of them not available in English for no apparent reason. Only
That
available.
probably happens, right? You're just not aware of it because it's not in English.
Right. Yeah, right. That probably does happen, but this is even when they were super aware of, and it's even weirder. Yeah, I often think about like, for all like the ones that we do get, like how many more are like under the surface, you know?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I had a similar
And then I look
conversation
at
before.
Yeah, right. Kurosawa's not the only Japanese director.
Yeah, I was complaining once because I usually keep up with like horror manga translations, and I was just complaining to a friend about how like, wow, it feels like there's like nothing good coming out right now. It's just like all just whatever. And then he's like, that's because you're only able to read like whatever gets picked up by translation groups, and it's gonna be kind of more popular slop type stuff. And it's like, oh,
Right.
there probably is really cool weird horror shit I can't read.
Yeah, that's kind of like, and that's only one country with one language, you know.
Yeah, literally, it's like
never mind
limitations.
cool horror comics that could be made somewhere else. Like, what about these like cool Italian horror comics that you're like, I can't read Italian either. And there's what's the Italian fan translation scene looking like, you know?
Very true.
Right. It's just like mountains of stuff. Yeah, so people like have to learn the original language, or then you have to hope they don't drop it. Like if it's long, you're like, oh my god, you're sweating. Every time there's a mild hiatus, you're just like, hoo boy.
Have to hope their translation doesn't suck.
Oh, right. It's just machine translation. And he's like, well, I could do that. Like if I was just gonna, if you're just gonna point your phone at a screen and translate it. And games are even harder, you know, because, you know, you gotta like learn how to like fit. It's not just pasting something over something, you know. It's not attaching a subtitle file. It's even more complicated of, well, I have to learn how to program to some degree.
Yeah, there's a translator whose work I've been following for a little bit. Just I think their name is Hilltop.
Yep,
they did the Boku no Natsuyasumi.
They did. Yeah. I believe they also did Dr. Slump. They previously mentioned.
Oh, really? But yeah, I really appreciate the work they do to bring these games to English-speaking audiences. Like that is super cool. I'm so glad that they're doing that.
Those are one of the people like, I should invite them onto the show. Because they're doing like Racing Lagoon, and they're doing tons of stuff.
Yeah, and they're doing some official localizations too, which like rules.
Yes, they're doing real classics like Maid and Machine Gun.
Only the hits here.
Yes, only the greatest Simple 2000 games for all of us. But I mean that's the point of it. You're supposed to also like translate slop, you know. Slop is just as good, or not slop, but schlock. It's like the bullshit, you know, however you say it politely. You know, I like the trash. Like the not just.
I don't think you found the way to say it politely.
Yes, you know what I like. You know, a couple. Yes, Kusuge. Yes, I I was playing Spelunker the other day. I'm like, man, Spelunker fucking rules. I like Spelunker actually. Like, it is in fact very funny that he can't jump like 2 feet without dying. And also, the music friggin' slaps in Spelunker so hard. Top video game soundtracks, Spelunker. You may also know from Cheetah Men, where it was stolen, and they threw it in there.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I was talking on the show the other day about like Corman, Roger Corman.
Oh.
And how, so much of that's like, a lot of that is just like B movie schlock they just put out, but it like can be interesting and also can get people, be a job for people.
Yeah.
Just like, and I think, mentioning this when you were talking about your remakes, but like, I think games actually could be made very quickly too. Like, with like a decent budget, you could probably turn around a lot of games in a month or so.
Oh, for sure. I've had this issue where whenever I first started making games, I was a college student who like lived with my mom and didn't have to I didn't have to work as many hours, if at all, and also had someone else helping, and like she would do the cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had way more time to do game stuff, and I was able to make games in like a weekend or a week, and they were also like short RPG Maker visual novel type things. And sometimes when I'm planning projects these days, I'll be like, well, this is a pretty like limited project, just a short like kinetic novel type thing. This 3 months max. If I just, and then, I mean, that's how Mayhem was. I thought Mayhem would only take me 3 months because even though it has multiple endings, between the pixel art style and being a visual novel, I was like, this will be 3 months max, and that took me like a year. And even same with my current game, Buck Velvet. It's a short RPG Maker game that's like, oh yeah, this will be short, and it's been like 8-ish months. And it's just harder to factor in that I keep estimating with like previous way more free time and not like current full-time job everything then a little bit of free time.
Right, but if you had like even like a small modest budget,
that would make such a huge difference.
Right, that you can take time off to do full time, hire a couple people, and then look, that game takes a few months maybe.
Yeah, because that was the other thing. I have a kinetic visual novel that's finished, except I need art, but art's not a thing I have budget for.
Right.
So it's like, when Buck Velvet's done, I will make the art for that. So the dev time will technically be shorter, but if I had budget, it would be like done.
Right. And that's like the difficulty you run into and I think games, I am hopeful that they are trending towards people like, I think there'll always be your people who I need my game to be a short game is 8 to 10 hours long, and that's also the minimum a game needs to be. But I think as the medium like grows and like becomes more people grow up with them having always been like a medium that exists, I think there'll be more space for it, in the same way that you can go to, for instance, like, go to like a mice, and there are like piles of, it's fully crowded and a bunch of people buying zines and mini comics for $10 to $15. And these things are maybe like 20, 30 pages at the most. But there's like people will do it and they'll buy it and they're ravenous for it,
Honestly, I think that's totally reasonable, the way like short form content, TikTok and Reels and Shorts is going. I think that has a chance to translate in like, I don't know, 5 years or something, with like the next generation is after shorter games.
Right.
Ironically.
Right.
I have I had a conversation with this guy once who's like a veteran in the games industry, and I was trying to convince him to do a game jam, and at some point he said, um, I'm not. It's not so interesting to me because this, like, the possibility, the scope of what I can do in a day or two, I know that. Like, that's known to me. It's not really that interesting to me, which was such a crazy thing to say. And I think about it so much. Um, and it
That
made me
is
think,
nice.
like, what if, like, A, like, you're not confident in, like, what you can do in a day or two is, like, worth doing. And it made me want to challenge that. And it made me think of, like, what if I tried to do, like, a game in a week for ages and just trying to sell it? Like, what Andy Warhol did with the factory or something,
Right.
like almost as a big experiment. But it's just such a crazy statement. I already know what I can do in a day or two. It's not interesting to me. It dwells on my mind so much.
Right,
That's
because like
wild.
you know what kind of
I
amount of
don't
work you can
believe
do in a
it.
day, or like does you know like oh yeah, I know what kind of game I would make in a day, you know, like, or he's
I
just
should
like
ask him. Hey, yeah.
right, he's just like oh I already know what games are, you know, and I know the amount. You're right. I've been um and then in part that's part of why I've been published. I've been trying to you know, besides you know Indiepocalypse in general, I've been trying to do like short game collections, you know, in much the same way someone makes short story collections.
Hmm.
Because I also think it's a very practical way of publishing. We have an example of, you know, everybody else does it. You know, what is an album but a collection of songs, you know? And
Yeah.
like, so I think there is like, it's a thing that feels like an untapped is a bad, I hate the way that sounds, but unexplored, I should say, rather.
Yeah.
Um, approach to game, it's like publishing games of like, okay, well, I made like 30 small games, whatever. Let me make
A launch.
right. I'll make a little launcher. I'm gonna sell this pack of 10 or whatever. Maybe I have like a standout game, so I'll say kind of like which you know short story collections do this all the time, where it'd be like sometimes they'll be named like something and other stories, you know, for like
And Dread XP has been doing something similar with it with their Dread X collections.
right,
Some like short things like contracting these indie devs where it's like I know the first one, I don't know the time length the other ones get, but the first one I think was like a couple weeks. So it's like do what your a slice of what your most like ideal project would be. Give us like the bite-sized version that you can deliver us that, and they paid several devs to do that, which I like that collection, especially since it had Comfy Hell Place. What the hell was it? They made Dread Delusions, which is
okay,
a game I like a lot.
yes.
Uh,
Is that out
Lovely
now?
Hell Place. Yes, it is
Okay.
out, and it's great.
Because I
But
was waiting for it to just like I'm 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 waiting to play finished video games. I'm done with early access in my life.
I get that. I had weird deja vu playing Dread Delusions because I used to be on Lovely Hell Place's Patreon, and I played years ago a demo for Dread Delusions that was like walk around in town, hit an enemy, do one basic quest, and I was looking. It's like, God, this is like a full on game now. That's crazy. Uh, but like getting deja vu of like I remember you, but you were different and over there.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah, it's very. And especially, I was playing a lot of Kingsfield last year, and I was playing like all of them, and I was like, oh, these are. And it's clearly like takes cues from that. I think it was like takes cues from that obviously as one thing, but also you know other.
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of like you know the open world 3D explorers, but there is like more like reuse. I think is something that hopefully games tap into way more. I think because I think that's like the heart of game success is like extensive reuse. Like, why? No need to build things from
Majora's
scratch.
Mask for that.
What was that? Sorry.
I love. Sorry, I'm talking. Sorry. Over everyone all the time. I love Majora's Mask for that. I
Yeah.
haven't actually played it, but I should. I feel
No.
like it would be my.
That is. How do you think fucking RGG Studio puts out a Yakuza game every 2 years? You know.
Yeah, they've just got the system.
Yeah, they just keep like. I go, you know, when they go, well, okay, well, they made it. Well, how is what's its face Lost Judgment going to take place in Hawaii now because they made Hawaii?
And it's like, well, where should it be? Oh, we have a Hawaii set.
Yeah, right, and like I think having it's funny the idea of like game engines aren't as modular as this, where unless a publisher really made a top-down stance of you have to use these engines or whatever. I was just thinking of the funny idea of basically the Hollywood backlot equivalent, but for video games. Of like, what sets we got to work with? If you're working at like an EA, you're like, okay, well, I want to make a war game. Let me look at what sets do they make for the old Battlefield game they're kicking around. What costumes and I think that is like flipped Unity asset stores. That's all. What's it called? Betrayal Club Low is all flip stuff.
True.
Basically.
I love that game.
And that's like most other stuff is like, that's how movies and TV works. They don't build all that stuff from scratch.
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes, but often they're not like, building everything from scratch because it's unfeasible.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's different with like movies and TV versus video games that I kind of try to impress upon people when I'm talking with them is it's like, oh, yeah, you got to build the set, you got to build whatever. You also have to invent gravity and light.
Right.
So if we can reuse gravity and light and like how a gun feels or whatever, like that's very good.
Yes, that is where like consistent like. That's why a lot of the hobbyist space uses those, pre-existing engines that do a lot of the busy work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Because that busy work, I mean, really, in 2025, we should not have to worry about gravity anymore. Or it should purely be a toggle of like how much of it do I want. It's been done so many times, but anyhow, speaking of things that have done so many times, this show has been done so many times. And that has been going for like 2.5 hours.
Oops.
But that said, before we start, as you start to wrap up, does anyone have any pressing non-promotional statements or questions before we get into the pressing promotional statements and questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Send an email to yourself and schedule it for 5 years from now. And just yap about how your day's been.
Nice.
That's lovely.
I dig it.
Yeah. Why did I get this for? What is this thing? What was I planning? Because also, I mean, that's a good thing that it's like email, folks. Email fucking rules. It'll be around. You can trust it.
Email A plus email.
You can't trust. If you said, "Hey, set a Discord DM for yourself in 5 years," I don't know if that'd still be around. Whether
turn Discord into glue.
Right, whether Discord has disappeared or whether like whatever feature you were using is gone now. It's been updated or it's on the blockchain now, so you can't use it without paying 30 Discord bucks.
Ah!
Yeah.
Scream for a while.
No, tech is good. Tech is really good. I love it. I love tech. It's a thing. The fun thing about tech where it's like, what's the thing? They keep making everything better and more improved, and it costs less.
And nothing goes wrong at all. It's super chill. And
Yeah.
We didn't have giant thunderstorms where I am that took trees down. It's super chill, actually.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had that a couple weeks ago. I mean, last Indiepocalypse was delayed for that specific reason.
Oh my gosh.
because we had a storm rip through real quick and take down some trees and power for like 12 hours, 16 hours. Yeah.
Screaming. Call your senators if you're in the States.
Right. Or I guess say, or living in places where I've lived more rurally my entire life, so I'm just like, that's just part of life, you know? Those things are going to get hit by trees. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to hope it's recovered fast. Like, that's just where we have power lines, folks. It's either we put them all underground or we like just string them up and leave them there and then like wait for the trees to knock them down. And they'll knock them down all right. But I'd always rather have trees and occasionally lose power than no trees.
True.
Yeah. Technology. Anyone else before we fully start to wrap it up?
Hello to all my beautiful friends who have tuned in for this.
Yes.
Aww.
Big thanks to friends for
Hello
tuning
to
in.
his beautiful friend.
I never have Twitch open, so I never know how many people are ever watching. So it could be 1 or it could be 500. I would never know. I have banished numbers from my brain.
That seems difficult with so many issues of the magazine.
Well,
Or
online.
the magazine.
I ban those online numbers, of course. Those ones that tell me if I'm good or bad.
Fair enough.
I don't, and there was I clung to them for the weirdest time for things that don't actually give meaning to my, like, I have difficulty deriving meaning from them. From like
Fair.
a number of hearts. I don't know what that means. They have 17
That means
hearts.
you have that many hearts. Congratulations.
But this picture of a Bic pen that says, y'all remember Bic pens? That one has 10,000 hearts.
Well,
Yeah,
congratulations. They have a lot of hearts.
That means they're better than me.
Oh no.
That is what
Don't
that
say
means.
that.
Yeah.
You should kill them.
No.
I'm going to take those. I'm going to
We're
crack.
spiraling out of control.
This is why I'm not on social media anymore.
Ah.
You know what? Most people weren't on social media, this fucking Andy Warhol guy was not on social media, but you still know his name, as it turns out.
No, I don't.
Oh, right.
Well, like most people on social media don't post.
Right. Like it's the weird, like yeah, right. And I find my social media approaches. That's where I find people, and then if I want to actually talk to them, I talk to them anywhere else.
Yeah.
The DMs, yeah.
Yeah. Or this. I met the radio show.
Oh yeah, true.
And be like, what if, and then I'd like travel the world slowly. And be like, hey, and then hope other people also do those events, and they go, oh yeah. It's because of my email notifications. Great. I love email. Whenever people, when people like message me about something, about like Indiepocalypse stuff especially, and I begrudgingly answer, but my first instinct is to be like, didn't I email you about you? Why didn't you reply in email? Why you messaged me on Discord about this shit?
That's real. That's real. You should always reply in whatever method contacted you, and that's crazy.
It's just like so much cleaner, and also it's like a little box that I clean through. Like if someone messages me on Discord and I look at that message and don't respond to it, it disappears in this little block that looks like a little person talking.
That email is like a little cage. It's like Andrew's little hamster cage. Help him keep it clean, people.
I am looking at it right now of all these things I need to do. Oh, this call already happened, so you know what? I delete that email because that call happened.
Help the wheel keep running. Help him keep running.
It is really how I stay, like, ruthless organization is how I'm able to do this by myself for 6 years,
Yeah.
Like, right, an RSS feed finishes, you just like
True.
I finish my RSS for the day. I wipe my hands of it. I'm done.
I love my RSS feeds.
Does not scroll infinitely.
I have unfortunately unbalanced my RSS feeds recently. some of them are too active, and I need to prune and figure out how to make it balanced again. Because it's like,
Yeah.
you want a lot of news, right? And I'm like, nope, I'll die. Stop.
Right. You don't need like
I need a little news.
Right,
Just a little.
exactly. Just because you have access to everything does not mean you have to experience everything all the time. But that's it. Anything else before I'm making sure to not just start more conversations. Anything else before we get to promotion stuff?
I think I'm good.
Perfect. So I'm gonna go in clockwise, of course. If you're watching chat, Zeddy Bear, what if people looking to find your work? Where can they find it? How can they find it? Where do you want them to go?
They can find me at my itch.io,
Yes.
zeddybear.itch.io. They can also find me on my website. Guess what? It's also Zeddy Bear at NeoCities. I update it whenever I can because I dev and work a full-time job.
Yes.
But it is where I have a page of all my current projects. So if you're wondering, what's that dude doing? That will be updated when I feel like it. And of course, also my Patreon if you want to put money in my tip jar so I can occasionally pay someone else to do this shit.
Yes.
Smiles, that's all.
Yeah. Even like, I think a lot about the just join for. I have joined for free, on Patreon. I think of it like, but I like maybe you can eventually convince someone that it's handy where you can convince someone to be like, oh, maybe I should pay money for this. Is what I hope.
It's one of the things like, if you ever wonder, I'm not on social media, so a lot of my updates that don't make it to my website go on Patreon because I just toss a post on there.
That perfect. That's also like, I like the idea of what's this? June 7th, Mayhem and Indiepocalypse. That's nice.
Oh yeah, that guy sounds really cool.
I don't know. Sounds like a fucking dork.
That shows what you know.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like an indie game success story. Why isn't he out giving talks in front of people all the time? Being jet setted around as there is a part of me that does want to like I should just lean into being fucking that guy, like begrudgingly become an indie personality or whatever. As in, so they'll fly me out to events. Because really, do I have any less to offer than whatever random AAA staffer they flew out to talk about something?
True.
Honestly, yeah, you probably would at least be more interesting.
Or I could probably actually more likely to get any of those developers who show up into those things any money than like maybe they're like, oh, maybe this person will get me a job at Blizzard. I'll send them my resume. Yeah. Or you submit your game jam to me and I'll fucking pay you right now, buddy. It won't be a lot.
20 big ones.
Hey, technically it's more like 60 big ones on account of Patreon, but...
Oh, that's nice.
More like 30 big ones for me
yes.
on account of currency exchange.
Yes.
Currency W.
All big ones.
Reaping the benefits of that US dollar.
While we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in Canada, I was like flying those things around. I'm like, look at all this fucking US money. I'm like, it was weird when it was like this cost when prices look normal, for like food. I was like, oh, okay, this is how much I normally pay for food. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in Canada. It's like a third of that or whatever.
Wow.
Not a third of that.
Canada.
Well, gotta throw around your kingly US dollar or whatever. It wasn't that much worse. Like I'm surprised sometimes. Because in my brain I'm like, well, I'm just because it's a different money, shouldn't it just all still cost the same? But it does. Anyway, money, fucking made up and weird. Reese.
Yeah.
Speaking of made up things, where can people find your games?
Yeah, Reese Williams on itch. that's the place. Go check
Yeah.
out the stuff I'm doing for Game a Week at the minute if you want. That stuff's cool.
Yeah.
Um, and it's on Twitter and Blue Sky. It's Reecy Boy, so ReecyBoii. I'm trying to phase out Twitter and just stick to Blue Sky.
Yes. No,
Uh,
I've done that a while ago, or I've had enough of it. Like basically, I don't want to use any of them, so a nice good excuse to not use
yeah,
them. Oh, but you got it. I can see right on here. You've got a nice little warp door shut out.
I did. That came out of the blue. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that game. I didn't even know if I was going to make that game. I made that game really quickly for Game Week. It's just like a bunch of 3D models I took. I have my JDM whip in there as well, and just kind of collaged it.
Yeah. No, there are people out there looking at, like, also speaking of feeds. Hey, it doesn't hurt to have that warp door feed, handy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap in those places. A lot of overlap in a lot of places. Here is I'm looking at. Oh no, I'm blanking on the name of the game now. Of course I am. The game where you touch things with your hand and you fly it through the window.
I got nothing.
It's because it was Serenade posted because it's also an Australian dev.
Yeah,
Life
Duncan.
runs through it. Life runs through it.
Life runs through.
Yes.
Yeah, Duncan was in 2 different games in the 65 issue, right?
Yes. That the highlight example of sometimes devs work together.
Yeah.
and what
You play the beach game that I made recently, Beach Time.
Yeah.
And you go to the pair of chairs that are facing each other, and there's a seashell in between them. It's a sound that Duncan said, and it's kind of fucked up. You should check it out if you want.
Sick.
Yeah. No, you definitely highly recommend. Basically, if you find a dev you like, look at their page, follow them, like the things that they like, see the games they work on with other people. Like, basically follow the spider web of like game devs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Get that web ring.
Right. Like that's.
Yeah.
I used to find so much stuff on the old web through people's like links to their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I still find stuff.
Maker.
If you have a website, if you don't have a website, get a website. And if you have a website, are you linking to your friends' stuff? You should link to your friends.
Yeah, we have an RPG Maker web ring, and like multiple people on it have been on here.
Yes. No, a compliment that was relayed to me via Nally Lawhead, saying that I think they knew each other. They were at an event and met someone and connected that they were both also in Indiepocalypse. Is the weird tissue that it's the weird web that connects all indie devs.
That's very good.
If you have nothing to talk about, you can both say, "Hey, maybe we were both in this thing," and at 670 developers, there's a good chance maybe you were. But it's fun. I like it. I like a lot of
I like
cool,
Serenade.
I like a lot of cool games, and I like connecting people around. Making games feel like it's not like a. Because I think if you come to games from just like, and you go on like Blue Sky or whatever, it feels like a sheltered little in group or whatever that's completely inaccessible. I'm sure. But there's tons of people everywhere else. You can just like log off of that website or whatever the website is at the time, and go, oh, actually, there's tons of game devs actually, and they're far more normal than people who are posting all the time.
Or if they're not normal, it's in a fun way.
Yes, not the kind of person who's going to the classic scream at you because you don't like waffles or something, because you said you like pancakes.
Right.
Fuck that guy.
Why doesn't I do wish he liked waffles though. It's kind of problematic behavior.
No.
It's basically body shaming.
It is. Right. He's like, you only want smooth surfaces? Yeah, sure. You don't like the crags of a waffle? Imagine anyway, to be truly like one of those kinds of Like, I try to understand the person who's like so online that they're so removed from humanity. Their brain,
Yeah, you're inventing a dude right now. Like there's a
their brain has been fully melted. But they just anyhow. But people with brains aren't melted. What names? Hey, what's up? Where can people find your work if they're looking to find your work?
extremely debatable if my brain isn't melted. Yeah, you can find my stuff at whatnames.itch.io. That's where I put games that I either make solo or with small teams. And yeah, I also work in indie games, so you'll probably just find something I've worked on and it'll be a secret and you'll never know.
Yes. The separation of hobby and work.
Yeah.
I've
been debating to myself. I'm like, do I want to promote this thing that just came out? Because I'm really excited about it and we worked really hard on it. I'm like, I don't. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm gonna bet
maybe you'll play it. It'll be cool.
I'm going to bet that whatever promotion Indiepocalypse or radio would do for it is a negligible, non-noticeable. Not to say that people aren't watching it, but that it's doing just fine. I'm sure.
It's good.
I'm sure the regular venues that don't answer my emails are answering their emails and doing multiple features.
Yes, they are, and I'm very thankful. I made a very good PowerPoint presentation about it.
So they're doing just fine.
Yeah, but yeah, I hopefully will be putting out another small game later this year. I miss making games for just fun and not work.
Right.
My work is fun, but I want to do another. Hopefully, I'll have another one out later this year.
And that said, right, my thing, Indiepocalypse, of course, you can go find it at indiepocalypse.com. That's the best place to buy it. I get the money faster that way, and it's cheaper there, too. But, of course, pizzabrains.itch.io is if you're wanted on itch and that sort of thing. Then, of course, indiepocalypse.com/Patreon is that aforementioned Patreon. I'm deciding now that my usual pledge drives are every 10 issues, but I would be doing 2 in a calendar year this year, so that's weird, I think. No. The thing is, there's no real reason why that's weird other than it's twice in a calendar year, and it was never technically annual anyway. It was every 10 months.
I mean, the nice thing about Indiepocalypse is that it's all vibes based and it's all your own vibes based. So...
Right. I have no one making decisions for me. It is kind of like entirely what I feel like doing. Like,
it's always the correct decision.
Right. My curatorial process is, do I like this game? Like, I don't have like a rubric or a guideline or anything.
That's a vibe.
I go, do I like this or do I not? And sometimes I will like not like a game strongly one month, and then the next month I will be really feeling it. I go,
look, I got waitlisted.
Yes, you're right. Exactly. There are people who get waitlisted, and then I'm like,
I didn't even apply to this issue, and I got in. I was just in the previous one, and had rolled over.
Exactly. I have like,
it's vibes.
I have like I could just out of the wait list. I could sometimes I'm happy when people don't submit because I can like dip into my wait list of people who haven't resubmitted, and I can be like, phew. I can like there's a lot of these things. I'm like, these things are overdue, and like this person, I'll contact someone from like 6 months ago, be like, remember, I'm like, oh, you got into this issue that is 6 months after the one you submitted to, because I wanted to include this game, but you didn't resubmit it. But talking about submitting, you submit that thing to indiepocalypse.com/submit is how you submit your game to Indiepocalypse. It's a very handy way to do that. And then, the original thing I was going to say was, so instead of doing that, I'm going to try to do like a Patreon drive is my attempt this time. Because if I, with the goal of like, can I get the Patreon to a point where it breaks even, so that it pays for itself, which would be like basically a self-replicating zine. Because really, if you've talked to me or heard me talk, you might get a sense of Basically, what I spend money on is art. um, so like, there's no goals for like Indiepocalypse other than like people get more money. So like, I think the thoughts of a funny graphic that just says like it's just a bunch of goals and it just says developers get paid more money. They get more money. They get more money.
Money go up.
Yes.
I mean, it is delightful, like every couple months, getting this itty bitty little royalty check in my PayPal. It's delightful.
I love itty bitty. I think all game developers should get royalties. Honestly, I think that should be standard practice. Like if you worked on a game, you should. If they're selling it, you should still get paid for it forever. At the very If at the bare minimum, like the leads should be getting paid forever for games that they made. You know, much like actors do for movies that they worked on. It makes sense.
Which is also very much happens because of strong unionization in those industries. So just going to wave that flag around for a little while.
Yes, I'm very excited to see that they are, I don't know all the particulars of like the language behind it, but that games are developing like a guild-style union that is company agnostic. Because
you can join it right now on the CWA website.
Yes, because that is the problem with organizing within the games industry. Is like you organize Activision, and then you have to organize 10,000 other studios. You can't organize every studio at once, especially as game studios increasingly treat people like Hollywood productions. You know, where you work on a game and then the game's over, then you're let go. So there's like, well, there should be, unionization that takes into account the fact that these people are basically treated as their tenure is as long as the project exists.
Yeah.
So, folks, only good can come from promotion for unions.
Yeah. Shout out to unions.
They're good, taking like your boss does not. However, the money a boss makes, they do not need to make that much money. It's like they do not. They are more replaceable than you think they are.
Which is saying a lot.
Yes, right. You probably think they're very easily replaceable, and they're actually, in fact, more replaceable than that.
Yeah, your labor is valuable.
Yeah, if all the workers leave, hey, there ain't no game. No matter how much of a idea prophet you are or whatever. I saw, I forget what it was, but it was truly the most cursed new age CEO term that I saw as someone giving a game talk of like how to be like a. It was not as bad. I can't remember if it was not as bad or if it was worse than games profit or idea profit.
Pretty bad.
But it was just as bad. It like truly like activated fight or flight within my brain. I bet I could look it up too. Maybe not. Maybe it is hidden. Maybe it is, the schedule is no longer available. But
they ran from you. They knew you were coming.
It's really like it was really cursed.
Yeah.
If it was something like Idea Captain or something really bad like that.
Idea Captain is giving summer camp.
But it was like more like tech bro kind of energy,
Yeah, I'm sure it was terrible, whatever it was.
Anyway, it's lost to the ether. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, fair.
Good riddance.
No, because I mean, the mentality is still around, and anyhow.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about it now because I'm like, I wish I could find it. But it's gone. Anyhow, I don't think I have any other slashes to put out, /newsletter, /etc. If you think I got a thing, it's probably indiepocalypse.com/that-thing. I'm going to be on the road, of course, coming up to PAX West, Anime NYC, QGCon. That's what I've got lined up right now.
You're going to be busy.
Yeah. Much like Amaze, much like PAX East into Amaze, Anime NYC is one weekend, and then PAX West is the following weekend.
Well, I'll be crossing my fingers to catch the plague at any of them.
I have not yet. I am.
You avoided it at a maze, really?
Yeah, no,
Wow, congratulations. I had to go to the hospital. It was crazy.
the only I think since it's the sensibility of people who are sick wearing masks and not going to places when they're sick, in general, that I think I have got a small cold from work, and that was the most I've gotten sick in like 5 years.
Amazing.
And it was like the mildest in the world, aside from getting COVID
goodness,
a couple
I'm
times.
sending all the good vibes to continue that streak. That's great.
Aside from the twice I had COVID,
Oof.
but I was also fully immunized, and I was like, I slept for 5 hours, and I woke up and I was like, hell yeah, I get 4 days off of work. Nice. Loving it, feeling great. Like I got a little mini excuse vacations. So
Yay.
Worked in my favor. But anyhow, yeah, if you're out there, see you there. Tell people if you know local events, be like, oh, this person's like an indie person. You should pay their travel, and they'll give a talk and act like they're very important, and then they'll chill out afterwards and just play games and hang out, and actually be a normal person rather than a cult of personality. How do you get to be a person that flies around to events without trying to develop yourself into a cult of personality? Haven't figured it out yet, but I'm sure there's a way to do it.
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Anyhow, shutting down the show. Zeddy, Reese,
Bye, Chad.
what? Thanks for being here. Yes, thanks for everyone for hanging out. Thank you for listening and watching. And hey, I don't know. See you next week, I guess. I don't have sign offs. Goodbye.
Stay swaggy.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.